Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome. Saturday night here in the Place to Be Reviews. It's me, Etepokuian, Tony ToneDef, and Angela Straven here with all of yous. Thank everybody for joining us. We'll kind of mess around here for a little while. You know, maybe do some ASMR. Just tickle the fluffy mics. Tickle the mic a little bit. Before everybody shows up. What's going on, man? Let me introduce y'all my co-host, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony ToneDef of the Clown World Review.
Yo, it's the weekend, man. What the heck? Like, what's going on?
Not much.
Is it?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm just leaving. Hello.
Use.
Oh,
You said use. Text Bobby saying Philly E-Tip. And I still haunt Godzillionaire's nightmares, so yeah.
Welcome, Bree, Double Vision Breeze.
Hold on, let me change my avatar for Godzillionaire here.
There you go.
Yes. Much better. Much better. Tony Wren.
Tony Wren, that's funny.
And next, ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight, Mr. Angelus Draven. Jesus, help me, Rhonda.
Hey.
Roman Reigns is getting pegged.
Hey guys. It's the weekend, like Tony said. Should be interesting tonight. We're talking about Sonic. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Sonic and some other sort. Yeah, and whatever else comes about. You know. Thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Is
Good
that
to-
not
good to
like
have
the?
you.
Isn't that not the most Vince McMahon thing? Like, you think of Taker's streak and Brock Lesnar, and he just pisses things away. Over 500, close to 600 days with the WWE Championship, and that's how Roman loses it.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of wrestling, I was getting into it on Twitter with some people about, because Becky, I guess Tony Khan made a comment about how all the people hating on AEW are bots or whatever.
Yeah.
And she made a statement about something like that along the same lines as his statement, but in defense of WWE or whatever. And she like posted a thing of Trish, and I'm like, yeah, Trish is a legend. You're not. And then you get all the WWE stands like coming out of the woodwork.
Oh God!
After I said that, and it's like, she's nowhere near a legend like Trish was. And they're like, well, don't you think that she will eventually be a legend? I'm like, no.
Wait, who?
Becky
Lynch.
A legend?
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me acknowledge the chat real quick. Hey, Courtney. I know I always say when I do my intro, I always say all of yous. What's up, Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs? Welcome. Oh, I'm not making funny. I'm not making fun of your talk. Not making fun of your talk. Not at all. And Godzillionaire, what's going on? Super fan Adam Shawhan and the freaking Wiener Dog Clan, all 9 million of them. They're like that. I'm telling you, man. There's a bunch. They'll bite your ankles off. If the guinea pigs and the goddamn wiener dogs ever join forces, the rest of the world is just, we're hit. We might as well just surrender. It'll be it'll be like Poland fighting off Germany when the tanks are rolling in, the Polacks are throwing rocks and sticks at it. But so I'm not. Before we get into the Sonic, Becky Lynch, I think she's a good worker. I don't think she's like that next level upper echelon type worker like Charlotte is, because Charlotte is a transcendent female worker.
Yeah, I mentioned Charlotte, and I'm like, if anybody becomes a legend, it's Charlotte, because that shit's in her blood. Like, because Rick, and she didn't want to do wrestling at first. She just decided to do it, and she actually liked it, and she's like a fucking natural. So it's like, yeah.
That's honestly.
And when you have to telegraph and freaking call spots in your matches, you're not a legend.
No. I don't. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of her body of work, but I know that the 2 WrestleMania matches I've seen of Bianca Belair's, they're way overhyped. Good worker, but amazing physique, but I don't know. I really don't think she's anything that special. Like, wow, you're Naomi with a ponytail and better abs. Like that. And her match with Sasha wasn't that good last year. This one, I mean, this was a good match. It was, but I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. I think she's way overhyped. Her and Sasha Banks both. She's a botch fest. But we'll talk about that later. I want to talk about Sonic too. First impression of the movie overall was it was a love letter to the video game. There were so many Easter eggs to Sonic 2 and Sonic 1 in that. From the way things were lit to it was almost like different zones, like in the games.
Yeah, it was.
Man, that was... Yeah, they paid, and when the police had the FBI, whoever had the thing for Robotnik, it was like a Sega Genesis game cover. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, like you just had to. That's why I want to go see it again, because I wanna go through so I can just watch for all those little subtleties in there. But
when he's underwater with the bubble, like that's like from Sonic in the underwater levels, and like yeah.
I get so mad during those levels. Like that's I have to restrain myself from cussing, because Trey will be sitting right there and I'm like, you can't beat this one, can you, Dad? No, son, I can't. I hate these levels.
Yeah, they're the worst.
But the introduction to the characters, I think that worked really well. We all know Tails and Knuckles are in this one. Idris Elba was freaking spot on as Knuckles. Like he was fucking great. Like his delivery and the cadence and everything worked so good. And I felt like this one gave the character, like, okay, so Sonic was obviously in the first one, but this one gave him and Tails and Knuckles some time to breathe as characters and just be characters, instead of like having the humans were involved, but you had a lot more scenes with just the characters, which was cool, which is what we wanted.
That's what we wanted in the first one, more Sonic, less humans.
And there's no slight to the first one, because it was, they listened. They listened, or we wouldn't have this movie. We wouldn't have the second one. The first one would have bombed spectacularly, and so I really appreciated it. I was like, man, this is good. It was fun. It was something that, like I said, we took the kids to it, and it was something that they were into the whole time. You didn't, like I said, there was no really the clunkiest part of the story is what's it, James Marsden's sister-in-law, like the whole with her thing, with the side plot with her and Shamar Moore. Like, I mean, I understand why, I understand the why, but it just, and I don't want to spoil much of it for Tony. That's why I won't go into like a lot of detail or anything, or I won't drop, I'm not going to do spoilers tonight, gang. Okay. I'm not. Tony hasn't seen it yet, so I guess we should have discussed that before we went on air, but no, I don't want to do spoilers for Tony's behalf and those in the chat that may not have seen it yet. But definitely worth the money. And there was callbacks to the first movie, which was nice. Jim Carrey's spectacular. Like I said good. before we came on air.
It reminds me of like his Ace Ventura, like even in the first one, it reminds me of Ace Ventura, like, and like his earlier movie, like the mannerisms and the way he used to act and deliver comedy back then, instead of like his newer kind of shtick that he's been doing. Yeah.
See, I've been a Jim Carrey fan since Living Color, back in the day, and to see his kind of turn he's taken, I understand evolving as a performer and all, so I'm not going to hate on him or fault him for that, but I definitely thought he brought it, like you said, that mid 90s energy.
Yep.
That's what he had in this movie. And if this was his, his swan song, if he's truly going to retire, tip of the cap to him. This is a hell of a note to go out on.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Hail, Glenn Schroeder. What's going on? Welcome, Glenn Schroeder. We got Glenn. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Godzillionaire, Superfan Adam Shawhan. Thank you all for joining us. We're talking Sonic, and we'll probably branch off into a few other things later on. We talk a little bit more wrestling. But, no, Carrie brought it. You got James Marsden.
Mm-hmm.
For what, obviously a big part of the movie, but I thought he was good in this. I didn't, there was no parts where I was like, ugh, with him.
Yeah, I thought he did good. For me, there was like a bunch of parts in the movie that were very touching, and like I'm just being a little bitch, getting a little teary eyed and stuff, because the whole movie is basically about family. Like
it is.
That's like the overarching, I guess, message of the movie is family. And it's definitely like if you have kids and you want to take them to see it, it's definitely like a love letter to like just being a family,
Yeah, it was man. That's like the theme, the connective tissue around the movie was family, and yeah, you get that, like you walk away from this movie feeling good. It's a rarity nowadays that we get to consume any media or content and get to walk away with like that nice warm fuzzy feeling. And this is honestly what it gave us. Hail Brahma Bull. What is it? Hang on a second. Where's here? Was this Carl's? Carrie's. Sorry, I spelled it wrong. I need to look a little closer. Carrie, hail. What's going on? Welcome. Wait, Godzillionaire, would you say this is Hollywood allowed a movie to be made about the importance of family with a good dad? Clutches pearls. Right? That it's sad that we see this as such a rarity now in, modern entertainment, that even, this family, you have Tom, and I can't remember his wife's name in this, but I can never remember her name.
Forget her name too.
Or the actress. She's good. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I just don't know who it is. I, slipped my mind. But they have a good dynamic on screen, and then you add Sonic in with them, and it works. And then when Tails comes,
Maddie is her name.
Maddie. All right, yeah, Maddie. They have a nice connective tissue, but yeah, it is, man. Like Tails and Sonic, their dynamic is really cool. The dance scene was fun, I will say.
That was great.
that was so much fun. Like the kids were standing up, kind of clapping and dancing during that, and I was like, have fun. But the theater was packed. Where I was last night, and it holds almost 200, and it was about 85% full last night.
Nice.
So yeah,
ours was pretty full. I think I wasn't really looking to see how many people were in there. I know there was a good size of people. I don't think like the very front row was very very full, if I remember correctly, but that's usually the case, just because people don't want to like stretch their necks trying to watch a dang movie, because they didn't have it in IMAX or any of that stuff.
Okay.
It was just regular 2D whatever theater. So
yeah, that's what ours was. And yeah, like I said, it's a bigger, like I said, it's a single theater, auditorium. So it seats quite a few, and like I said, I know the capacity is around 200, and yeah, it was there was like three rows in the front that weren't completely, they weren't filled. We got a super chat from Red. Hey, Red Gaze. He says, is my penis supposed to feel this way with three dudes on the panel? Give me some Chuck Norris, Holmes. Well, for $4.99, Red, for $4.99, if it's Chuck Norris you want, sir, it's Chuck Norris you get. Here you go, Red Gaze, for your $4.99 super chat, sir. There you go, Red. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I always wonder, why didn't anybody just shoot him?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
Chuck Norris. It would just die. The bullet would hit him and just bounce off.
The bullet would go over to him, apologize, and go back and hit the sender.
Yes.
Thank you, Red. Appreciate it. What do we got? Carrie says, yeah, the Russian dance-off was great. And it's funny too, because my grandfather owned a dance studio and he used to teach a lot of like the traditional Russian dance and stuff like that. Like the dance of the swords and shit. So yeah, that was that I was kind of laughing, man. That was funny though.
Yeah, it was funny. They didn't even know what the heck to do, and then
Yep. Cue the music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure this will come up in box office breakdown, but it looks like Sonic 2's performing well. I do want to take a look at that. There you go, Red. Hope you enjoyed your Chuck Norris. Yeah, I'll pull up the numbers real quick here. We'll obviously cover the whole weekend on Monday, but let's see here. Let me go to the dailies for what's today? They don't have the 9th plus, so we'll go to the 8th. Sonic, right? Ooh, nice. It's got a couple good days here already. So we go over here to Box Office Mojo. 26.5 domestic, 29.8 worldwide, $56,300,000.
Wow!
Already.
Dang.
That's a nice chunk already. And like you said, they still got tonight and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
they have the holiday too that weekend.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that next weekend's a 4-day weekend.
Yeah. So they're gonna,
yeah. This movie's gonna do well, and I think I don't see this having a big drop off in between weeks 1 and 2. Plus, we know what good word of mouth can do or can't do for a movie. So yeah, 56 million already for Sonic 2. I want to go look up what the first one did. I can't remember, but I'm very curious now, because I wonder if this will surpass the first one. This is being released in, well, that was like the last big movie that came out pre-pandemic. The first one made $319,715,683 on a budget of $85 million.
Wow.
The first one opened domestically to $58,018,348. So I think this one's gonna do very well. Yeah, I think the second one, like I said, good word of mouth. There's no restrictions on theaters anymore.
Yeah.
$110 million budget on this one, Godzillionaire. Okay. This one will make its money back. Easily. Plus, you got to add in probably about another 80 to 100 for marketing, maybe about 80. I don't know. I think this will clear its money, and honestly, they'll probably do another one. If this one does well enough. But I think it will. I do. Just with like I said, just with word of mouth and
them using the pandemic as an excuse now, it just doesn't. You can't. They keep using that excuse, because like at least where I'm at and where you're at, like there's nothing holding anybody back from going to see a movie except your own. If you're still weary You know,
Yep.
you can do that, but for the most part, everybody's like, yeah, whatever.
Yep. It's back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just I look at it like, yeah, I mean, what, I was in a theater with almost 200 other people last night. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even, it's not like I'm hesitating. It's like, oh, big crowd. No, I want
Yeah.
to do stuff. I want to live, life normally again.
Yep.
The way God intended us to. So yeah, this was fun. This was one I honestly do want to go see again. I really do. It gave me like Ghostbusters Afterlife vibes when I left.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I would
That was
feel
a good one
fine.
too.
Yeah. And that says like I would feel fine spending my money on this again.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I do. It was like I said, it's just a fun movie to go and sit down with the family or by yourself or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll leave feeling good. That's a nice thing about this movie.
Yeah, I was rocking the one like title song or whatever for what it's called, like on the whole way home after I'd seen it. So I forget what it's called.
Yeah, look it up. Tony, when are you gonna go? So are you gonna go watch this still, or are you kind of just gonna wait for it to come out now?
So I'm probably gonna watch it in the theater, but it's like I was saying earlier, something about once I miss opening weekend, I'm kind of like, yeah, I can probably just wait for it to come out, But we did enjoy the first one. We saw that in the theater. One of the last movies, really, before the Great Reset. So, yeah, like it was one of the few highlights of because I think the first one did come out in 2020, just early 2020.
February.
Yeah, one of the few highlights of that year. So I don't know. We probably are gonna go see it in theater, but we meant to see it already, and then it just the stars haven't aligned yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, man, it's definitely worth checking out. This you don't get, I said we like outside of, and I had to remember Ghost Kid Cudi. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I just looked at the private chat. But no, Ghostbusters Afterlife was the last movie before this that, like I said, I walked out of and was like, I'm happy. I have a happy feeling, from a movie, which, like I said, it's rare. And honestly, before that, I have to go all the way back to the first Sonic movie because we went to see that in the theater. That was February 12th that came out. February 12th of 2020. But yeah, so it's, because I've seen every Marvel movie that's been released, theatrically. I went to see, what the hell was that other one? That was, 7-8 years in the making, like Morbius was. New Mutants. I saw New Mutants in the theater, and every Marvel movie I left was like, ugh. Spider-Man was good. Spider-Man was fun. I had a good, but it, the end, it wasn't like like it was with Ghostbusters or Sonic 2. I want to, I think it's a girl that voices Tails, and she did the voice of the cartoon character too, I believe, right? Or maybe from the video games.
Not sure.
I think so. I should probably look it up, but the Tails voice actor was spot on. It was, and it really, it's nice because you see, like, over the course of the movie how Sonic and Tails form their bond.
I think she did the voice of Tails in Sonic Boom.
Yeah, it was Sonic Boom. The cartoon, because
she did some stuff in Digimon the movie.
Okay.
Toy Story 3, some Naruto voiceover stuff.
Right.
But
yeah, Trey's got that I would probably have never seen Sonic Boom, but Trey has like a DVD. Somebody got him of it, so we were watching that. So I was like, okay, but yeah, great. It works, Sonic and Tails dynamic, and the visual effects with the characters are great. Like they really are.
They're so good.
What did you think of Knuckles, man?
Oh, I loved him. Whenever he like shakes somebody's hand and he like,
yes,
they just like not over. I guess they kind of over embellished like his like that that he punches really hard because that's his
yeah,
shtick.
yep.
But it was just great, and he's just like super hell bent on like stopping Sonic or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. The whole like I said, Idris Elba doing that was great, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad. Yeah, that means he likes you.
Yep.
that was funny. And then you get the scenes with him and Jim Carrey,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, it's a good thing Idris Elba, it's not a big spoiler that Knuckles doesn't die in the movie. They're not going to kill off
Yeah.
one of these characters. So I can say that Grace Randolph probably, didn't cry again because Idris Elba died,
Yeah,
so.
because if you're a fan of the games, you know that Knuckles was being manipulated by Robotnik anyway. So,
Yeah, it's very yeah, and the nod to the video games was great. Jim Carrey, spot on. Even the supporting characters, like I said,
mm-hmm.
Shamar Moore from was he Criminal Minds? He was. It's funny. He's marrying her sister, and
Mm-hmm.
he pops on, and we're there. I leaned over to the wife. I was like, "Hoy, what's he marrying her for? He's gay."
Is he really?
Yeah, he's gay. Shamar Moore's gay. So yeah, I was like, and then I just kept calling the sister-in-law Lizzo the whole movie.
Oh, okay.
I was like, why is the gay guy marrying Lizzo?
I actually didn't mind that whole scene, like with them like trying to say, you know what I mean. I don't want to like spoil anything, but the whole hotel scene and all that stuff with the wedding and all that, I actually didn't mind all that. I thought it was pretty good. Like just to kind of like, because like you said earlier, the humans aren't in it that much, but when they are, it's like you're not like you're invested in what's going on with them too to some degree.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. The humans kind of move the plot along, but it most of the time you have the characters taking center stage.
Yes.
And by that I mean the characters from the games and that are
which like an example of it done wrong is probably Transformers, where like the freaking Transformers take second stage to the humans in the biggest part of the movie.
Yep, that ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
That completely ruined it, Hey, Runner Blaze is here. What's up, Runner? How you doing, man? Listen.
Hey.
I got nothing to say. I just want you to listen.
Oh.
No, what's up, man? Wait, Godzilla, is her fiance as attractive as he looks in pictures? I see. I need to go back and I want to watch it again. I really do. It's like if I could, go a little garsh and find it. I'm sure I could, but I'm not going to. I'll sit in the theater again and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was a fun. It was a fun family movie. You really, like I said, and you get Knuckles and Tails and Sonic interacting with each other. It is, man. It was so cool. And then you get Jim Carrey, and I don't even consider Jim Carrey one of the humans. He was more or less just like the characters. You know what I mean? Because he just, like I said, man, this guy. It'll be a shame if he doesn't come back for the third one. Because they can resurrect him some. They can bring him back. They're going to throw a truckload of money at his career, drag it out of the ashes.
In the games, he was originally human, I believe, and then he got killed, and then he becomes Eggman, which is like the robot version of him. So that it is very possible that they could do something like that.
I want to see the damn chicken from the old school cartoon. Remember the chicken? All those robotic chickens and shit.
I don't know if I remember that.
Hang on.
Oh, I know what you're talking about from the comedy cartoon.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about. And then they had the guy with the drill in the nose as his nose and stuff. I know you're talking about.
Dude, I would fucking love it if in the third one they, Just, or at least like a quick nod to it, like if they get Robotnik, if they get Jim Carrey to come back, if he has his lab somewhere and he's got these two fucking, you see him like they maybe aren't active, but they're there like on a bench or something. Like it would be like it would be fun. Runner says Sonic 2 is pretty good. Knuckles stole the show in my opinion. Jim Carrey is really good in this too. Yeah, like I said, Idris Elba killed it with his voice acting in this, and like a lot of it was his delivery and his cadence. It works with the character, like he really was. But yeah, I don't, Draven, or anything you want to like really point out that without I'm trying. I'm
like
lightly.
I want to talk about like the after credits thing, but I can't talk about it without like spoiling it. But. Yeah, because I'm a little. We
almost left. I forgot.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, we got it. We were walking. I was like, oh shit, wait. There's probably a post-credit scene. We turned around, and yeah, there is one. So
yeah, the first thing I always do at the end of the movie, I get on my phone and quick. You can do the little quick lookup to see if there's like after credit stuff. I'll do that, and if there isn't, then I just get up and leave.
I know. Usually I check before I go in, but I completely spaced and forgot to check. And yeah, like I said, then we're sitting there and there was all those kids were sitting in front of us. I'm like, I just want to go. At least mine's quiet. He knows to be, he knows how to behave in the theater. So, but you get 4 or 5 of them together and they act a fool.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's that kind of movie, where they are going to be cheering and stuff like that. They're little ones.
Yep.
It was like that during the first one. It was like that during the first one too. I can't think. I don't.
Without spoiling anything, I don't have anything else.
Okay. All right. The guy that plays
fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. The guy that plays Jim Carrey's number 2. I don't know if he's like Middle Eastern or Indian or whatever, but that he's fucking funny. Yeah, Stone. Because Jim Carrey. Yeah. I'm not. I damn it. I don't want to. I can't mention it. I don't want to bring it up. Yeah. But yeah, he's so damn funny. Like that guy is a very like underrated like background piece, he's a good ancillary character.
Yeah.
And it's just
enough. A good sidekick kind of like character, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just enough of him to not be too much to where it's like, oh, this guy, Yeah. But no, he's a good, like he plays a good comedic second, with the limited screen time, like I said, and him and Carrey have a good. I think honestly, Jim Carrey can probably bring the best out of a lot of actors.
Oh, definitely.
Just with just the way he, and like I said, all personal shit about Jim Carrey aside, just looking at him from a professional standpoint, he can pull some good performances out of lesser actors. And I'm not saying this guy's a lesser actor, but Jim Carrey is a fucking, I mean, I don't know, can you call him a legend at this point? A comedic legend? Probably. Yeah. I mean, he's, so. I mean, the guy's been doing this since the mid 80s. And then, really hit big with In Living Color, and then Ace Ventura, The Mask, what am I forgetting? Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. The fucking original Dumb and Dumber is money. Yeah. So this guy, he's done his due diligence. He may be insane away from on Twitter or whatever, but I don't even know if is he on Twitter. I don't even know really.
I'm not sure.
After the cast of Seinfeld, 50% of them broke my heart. On Twitter anyway.
Yeah.
Julia.
At least Seinfeld is still
Jerry's based.
Yeah.
Jerry's based.
Yep.
And
great.
Michael Richards. I love your work, bud, but your stand-up act, I don't know. It just kind of causes some issues.
Yeah.
Yep. But no, so Jim Carrey works with the Stone guy really well, and you get that goofy ass. What was that military?
Wade?
Wade.
About the sheriff's, the deputy.
Yeah, him, and then Yeah, that
it's so ridiculous. It's funny.
He's like he's the over the top fucking character in this.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
but he's like one of those guys that's like super into like his job, but not like serious way, but like
yeah,
in a like in a funny way where he's like just doing everything like super over the top.
Yes. He's extra, as the kids say.
Extra,
he's extra.
Yes, but it's great.
It does. It works within like the world of the movie and the story. It works so well because we get the scenes with him and Stone together, which are really good. Like I said, without going into detail, those two on screen together was like, okay, and it's funny because they're obviously on opposing sides, but maybe it's just me. Little side, if you put these two in maybe in a movie together, and not these two characters but the actors, I mean, I think you might have something there.
I agree.
I do. They're it kind of like a buddy, like the buddy comedies from the 80s. Those two would work well together. Like I said, I don't know what either of them has been in before. I don't know if I've ever seen either of them in anything, but I like their presence. They have a good comedic presence, and working with the dialogue, because Wade's it's kind of limited, as far as dialogue goes. But
Stone was in a live action fan made Pokemon movie in like 2010.
Was he?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I'm not going into any spoilers.
And he was in See No Evil too. Stone.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one. Like, the first one was all right. I mean, for what it was, it was a WWE movie. But I liked See No Evil more than I liked The Marine with John Cena.
Yeah.
The only good thing about The Marine was Robert Patrick.
Yep.
Robert Patrick's
like that was the only good thing about that movie.
He made that movie. Robert Patrick, like,
how many spin-offs of that did they make? Like,
well, wasn't Ted DiBiase Jr. in one of them?
I think so.
Tony, do you know?
I was never really that big into the WWE movies. I thought they were stupid. So, but I'm pretty sure they did 5 or 6. I know Miz was in a few, and
yeah, because wasn't that what
movie?
Yeah,
the Miz is in one.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, who finds this asshole intimidating? And everyone I talk to, like, I like him. Okay, it's like his job.
I like him just because of his. Yeah. I like him because of his story to become a wrestler. That's the only reason I like him. His character in wrestling.
He had an end because he was an actor.
He was on The Real World.
Yeah, he was a regular dude who got on Real World, and then that was his in, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
No, it just sums up how I feel about Miz. Yeah, well.
All right, so I'm going to share the screen in a second. So, but before we kind of round out the Sonic portion of the program, which, like I said, gang, I didn't put spoilers in the title of the video because I wasn't going to go into spoilers tonight because especially I would have added it in had Tony seen it. Me and Draven don't want to spoil it for him or any of you in the chat who haven't seen it. Sounds like some of you have. So I'm glad I hope you enjoyed. Let us know if you enjoyed it. If it's something you'll honestly go see again, if you go see movies twice like that. But yeah, I would get, honestly, like, I will go on, I don't know, I'll go on a 5 scale or I'll go on a 10 because we usually do 10s. I don't know. I can't give it a 10 just because, I mean, what, I don't know. But I mean, I'd say like a 9.5, honestly.
Yeah.
It just, like I said, the only thing that tripped me up was a few of the scenes with Shamar Moore and Lizzo. But outside of that, everything was. I have no complaints about. I don't have any complaints about the movie except for that little. But I mean, it wasn't even terrible. I just I don't think I've ever given anything a 10 out of 10, and I will give this a 9.5.
Yeah, nothing's perfect. Like,
yeah, that's it. You gotta, a half a point to a point there. But no, I can easily give this a 9.5. No messaging, no underlying. There wasn't, not at all.
mm-mm. Nope.
It was fun. It was heartwarming. It's about family, which is, I feel like there's a Vin Diesel meme to be bad family. Hail the lovely Sherry. Welcome, Miss. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, that's me. I'll give it a 9.5. What about you, Draven?
Yeah, I think 9.5 is probably where I would put it too. 9.5, something like that.
Yeah,
Just
it's
because like there wasn't really anything that I had issues with story wise. Like all the callbacks were great.
yeah.
Trying to think. Like in the beginning, I was a little nodding like towards. I want to say like near the beginning, I was kind of nodding off, but that's because I worked a 12-hour shift, so it wasn't because the movie was boring. It was just because I was just fuck tired and exhausted. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, it'll be something that if I get a chance, I'll probably go see it again. But I'm gonna share the screen because we're talking about the Marine franchise. Now, how many movies do you guys think there are? Have you looked it up yet?
I haven't looked it up. There's like 5 or 6, isn't there?
Yeah, Tony, is that what you 5 or 6 of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we have 6 entries. We have 2006. Directed by John Casabanito, starring John Cena, Robert Patrick, and Kelly Carlson and her fine ass. Marine 2 was rejected. Was directed by Roll, is that Rone? Or written by Christopher Borelli. Just had to do the Glorious Bastards. Borelli. John Chapin Morgan, and produced by Michael Lake. Stars Ted DiBiase Jr., Tamura Morrison,
Is he even
Lara
wrestling anymore?
No, I don't think so. I don't know unless he's on the Indies. Robert Colby and Michael Rooker. Marine 3 starred the Miz, and Marine 4 starred the Miz. Marine 5 starred the Miz, and Marine
So
6.
now it's his action vehicle, basically.
Yep. Look at this. His wife was in it. Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, and Naomi. Because she's a Yay's in.
Wow.
And Shawn Michaels was in the last one, and Becky Lynch.
Now I just want to watch them to see what kind of a train wreck they are.
Shawn Michaels in Marine 6 with his Forrest Whitaker eye. He's like white Forrest Whitaker with that eye now.
It can't be as bad as the Triple H movie where he drives bus. Or the Big Show movie.
The Chaperone.
Yeah.
Oh. Hail Judas Goat Barbecue. He said Sonic. I think he's talking about. We were talking to Sonic. He said sounds like a good old fashioned movie. Hail. Yeah, it was. It absolutely was. Like I said, I gave it a 9.5. Just because nothing's perfect, like Draven said, but this was as close as you could get to like a fun, old school, just perfect, heartwarming family comedy. With some, albeit with some CG characters, but Ben Schwartz. Again, Schwartzman, is it Schwartz or Schwartz? Ben Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you. He is great. The Sonic role. And I thought, like I said, I loved Parks and Rec. So John Ralphio, he was the person that you love to hate on that show, and it's like he's so damn good as Sonic now. It's funny to think that that's the same person. But yeah, it's far better than any entry into the Marine Service, the Marine series of films.
Yeah. Definitely.
Except this one. Now, I think it would be cool, even if like Jim Carrey didn't want to come back for a third one, if they brought in Robert Patrick as the villain.
I think he'd want to, because he wasn't doing really anything worth a note until Sonic came around. It's kind of a career resurgence for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he tried to go like more the serious route.
With number 23 or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, it was like a kind of a horror.
Weird, but
I don't think I've ever seen that all the way through, honestly. I was just like, oh, you're not going to be funny? You're out. Oh, you're gonna do a drama? No.
There's that other one too that he does with
was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind him or Adam Sandler?
That was him.
Yeah. Was Jim? Okay.
Yeah, which I really liked him in that.
That wasn't bad. Was who is in the Majestic? Was that Tobey Maguire?
No idea. The Majestic.
Why the no? Jim Carrey was in the. Was Jim Carrey in the Majestic? Now I'm trying to think.
I hate it when people that
Jim
are
Carrey.
Like comedians try to go for the drama. Like sometimes the drama works. Like, okay, that works. He was in Man in the Moon when he was playing
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman. That works for what he does.
Yeah.
But it like when they start trying to fucking. Well, I want to prove myself as an actor, and it's just garbage. And they end up pissing on their own momentum, and it's never the same after that.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't
Robin
work.
Williams.
Yeah. Well, he could pull it off. He had that talent, but like, I'm sorry, Jim Carrey has a goofy face. Nobody can look at that face and take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
in certain contexts that they're hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Robin Williams was great in dramatic roles. Like, Good Morning Vietnam. I don't really consider that a comedy. Even though there is, but he was great. Good Will Hunting.
The one where he goes to hell. Too,
I think Jim Carrey was a lot better of a comedian than Robin Williams. I really don't think Robin Williams was that funny. He could do impersonations and he was talented, but he didn't make me laugh like Jim Carrey used to,
Mm-hmm.
I love Robin Williams. I do. I love his movies. I love the man as a, he's always seemed like we didn't know what he was suffering inside, but I did. I remember seeing Mrs. Doubtfire in the theater. I thought Robin Williams was funny. Dead Poet Society, exactly. Oh, Captain, my Captain. But yeah, Jim Carrey over the years has made me laugh more. Than we absolutely like I said, I grew up watching The Living Color, so I Fire Marshal Bill and all Vera DeMilo, the bodybuilder gig he did, all his crazy shit. Was he was it The Boy with the Rubber Face? I think that was one of his first something like that.
I know he was in Earth Girls Are
Easy.
Are easy, yes.
Yep.
I love that movie as a kid.
Yeah, I like that too. Or My Stepmom is an Alien. I always put those movies together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was My Stepmom is an Alien? That was Kim. Was that Kim Basinger in that?
I think so. Yeah, and like Jeff Goldblum or something.
My Stepmother's an Alien. Yeah, Kim Basinger. Oh my god, and Dan Aykroyd, Allison Hannigan, John Lovett, Seth Green. Yeah, that had a pretty good cast back then. But yeah, Kim Basinger. Yeah, she was definitely something. We were. I watched Fanzines or video. He was talking about his VHS hauls he got today. And one of the movies, and this kind of rounded back to, we were talking about Bruce Willis the other night, and we had that countdown of listed from Bounding into Comics of all their favorite Bruce Willis movies. One of them we failed to mention was Blind Date with him and Kim Basinger. You don't remember that one?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh my god! So he goes out with this, Kim Basinger, and her fucking character is like straight-laced and normal until she starts drinking, then she just gets like fucking nuts. And her ex is John Larroquette, and he's trying to kill him through the whole fucking movie, trying to kill Bruce Willis. Oh, it's a freaking, and this is like their first date, her and Bruce Willis. So yeah, it's a freaking great movie. Yeah, it's called Blind Date, and if you go back, like that's before, right? But like before that movie, Bruce Willis is the biggest
right now.
Dude, check it out. It's worth a watch. Before that, like the biggest thing he'd done was Moonlighting, the TV show. So yeah, he that was kind of a jumping off point for him. But that, that. Which
Moonlighting.
Moonlighting was Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd were like the main characters in it. But it had like there was more the other actors in it are known from like the the 70s kind of that 60s and 70s, some of them.
Okay. Sort of like what's his name from Taxi Driver?
De Niro?
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, Taxi Driver. I'm thinking the movie.
Taxi is what I mean.
Taxi.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah. Oh shit, Taxi had like Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, had a bunch of people. In it.
Danny DeVito.
Yep.
I haven't seen much of that, honestly. I mean, I'm aware of like the show, but yeah, that was like there's certain shows like I went back like the Jeffersons and Good Times because like I watched some of those as a kid. But like I remember watching reruns of like All in the Family and all that. God, because my grandpa used to watch that all the time. See, it's funny because I talk about Dallas all the time. I'm a huge fucking fan of that show. Like I love that show. Like I used to watch it with my grandma. She used to sit there and drink beer. I'd have to sneak her beers because she wasn't supposed to drink, but she'd buy them and hide them in the bottom of the fridge. And I'd sneak her beers, and I was like 7. She made me take a sip of one. She goes, "There, now you can't tell on me." I'm like,
that's funny.
I just got blackmailed by my grandma. Remember when Bruce Willis also appeared when he was putting out records? Yeah, he did. He did put out a couple. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, him and Eddie Murphy.
I remember Eddie Murphy.
My girl likes to party all the time. Party all the time.
He did one with Snoop Dogg too.
Eddie Murphy did?
Yeah, recently. Really? Yeah. Well, within the last couple of years is what I mean by recently.
That's funny. That's funny, Eddie. Eddie, what I think an underrated gem of his is not only the Nutty Professor, but the Nutty Professor 2. I've seen that movie 100 times. Like the clumps. Like I love when he does all the different I used to do those impressions all the time. Come on over here, Cletus. Come on, fucking grandma. You're going to walk over here. You're going to limp back. Isaac got stamina like a Brahma bull. We go to bed. It's like mating season on the Serengeti. What's wrong with you, Cletus? Making fun of you. I'm going to walk over here. Sure, you walk over here, you limping back.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah, that fucking... Those mid-90s... The comedies, I mean, you had Nutty Professor, 2 came out in that, or was it, no, the first one came out around there, but you had Nutty Professor, think about it, man, you had Ace Ventura, you had Dumb and Dumber, all in the span of a few years, that's not even counting like the Adam Sandler movies back then.
Yeah. Oh, the old school Adam Sandler movies are so good. Like his newer shit is just... It's very hit or miss.
I want to watch Uncut Gems because I've heard it's good, but I haven't.
It's okay.
Did you watch it? All right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not. Yeah, horrible.
That's I heard he was all right in it.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept, but it's not like, to be honest, it could be a WWE movie,
Oh, no.
Like, it's okay, but it's not like, I guess, groundbreaking. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Judas. Hercules. My baby's
Buddy
so
Love.
strong. Buddy Love. Oh, my God. Buddy Love. Back when Jada Pinkett had hair and was hot.
Yeah, she was hot in that movie.
That was the best. Yeah. We're going to remind you guys here. Which
movie?
Nutty Professor.
She was in that?
Yeah.
She was the shit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, 1996, Nutty Professor came out.
Wow.
Back when they only referred to actresses as divas.
Mm-hmm.
And then they made us change it.
Yeah, hang on. Here's a pit. Here's some. This is back when she was fine as hell in that movie. And then because Janet Jackson was in the second one. Yeah, that's what Jada look like. Look at Sherman. Sherman.
Shit,
My baby's so handsome.
See, that's what she looks like with hair.
Yeah.
And then now. Look, oh, God. Somebody did it.
Wow.
Somebody did it. Yep, but that was her and the Nutty Professor. She was Sherman's boo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith passed out a Nutty Professor set due to ecstasy. Should we dive down this rabbit hole?
Go for it.
That was that 90s ecstasy, too.
That's you for you kids out there. Ecstasy was the precursor to Molly. Are we supposed to be? Is Mama Susan gonna get mad because we're talking about recreational drugs? Hey, look, there's her son Willa. Yep, Jada Pinkett says she passed out on the set of The Nutty Professor. No, after taking a bad batch of ecstasy.
Her son? Doesn't she?
Is that?
What about that's not? That's the daughter, isn't it?
I don't know. They look the same.
That's the.
Aren't
I
they
think
both
that's the daughter.
Aren't they both females?
I don't fucking know anymore.
Well, Jaden wears dresses. I have no idea. Hail, good stuff, comic skater. Oh,
Well, she
thank
has
you,
like
man.
a singing
Thank you.
career and shit too, doesn't she?
I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is it's funny that oh god, the red table talks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I passed out. I went to work high. It was a bad batch of ecstasy, and I passed out. I told everybody I must have had old medication in a vitamin bottle. Oh my god. She went cold turkey. Yeah, I Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. So Jada fucking, and now look at now she cucks her husband out. She doesn't take ecstasy anymore.
Mm-mm.
Dude, did y'all see that Instagram video of she just went live on Instagram and started recording him and kind of like
yeah, I see that.
Making these snarks. I can't remember who did the a couple different people did videos on it, but yeah, I was just like, man, dude, she's a bitch to him. Like, not only
what was he doing?
He was just like trying to like be around the house. And she called him a narcissist for like he spent 3 years planning her 40th birthday party, and like she like ruined it and like was a bitch to him about it and shit like that. I was like, because she said he was trying to make it all about him.
She's an awful person.
Yeah. Hail, good stuff, Comics Gator. Hail to you, man. Yeah,
she
just
yells at Snoop Dogg too. Like she used to have an issue with Snoop Dogg because of the Tupac stuff. Like she like blamed him for like Tupac's death, like there for a while. Like so she's like a cunt. Like
she is definitely. Hail 24 Eyes. What's going on? What's going on, brother?
Hail.
He was just making a sandwich. He was. That's all he was doing. He was just trying to fucking chill. And she's like, nah. And she's going live. He's like, I'm my brand on social media. You can't just do this to me. And she's like, kind of making fun of him. I was like, you fucking bitch, man. Like, damn. She just break a man down. Like that's what she's doing. She's just breaking him down. You know what I mean? Like this, and this is like. So stunning and so brave of her to treat her husband like this, and you know, and then like I said, it was funny because Chris Rock's brother Tony did that spot where he was like, you know, you smacked my brother because your bitch gave you a side eye. Like that's basically what it boils down to, you know. You're so, you know, because he was laughing at the fucking joke. We all know it, you know. Like I said, that's why I had such a hard time believing that this wasn't a work. Like it. Everything about it looked like a fucking work to me. But you guys
apparently it's not though. So
right. He's getting fired from a lot of his projects have been put on hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means they're dead in the water,
Yeah, because now that he's banned from the academy, these people aren't going to do a movie with him because they aren't going to be able to get any awards, because don't they get some kind of that gives them notoriety on the movie too, so people will go out and watch it. So if he isn't going to be there to win awards for their movie, why the fuck invest on having him in their movie?
Yeah, it doesn't make
Now on the flip side, I don't see the Academy Award, or is it the Academy Award or the Oscars? I don't see them lasting 10 years, let alone because we just lost the Golden Globes, or one of those that got canceled.
Yeah, that was the Golden Globes.
Yeah, so I feel like the other award shows are going to be on their way out, not that long from now either, as well.
And I was never that big on the Oscars or the Golden Globes or anything like that, but I remember in my obviously being a teenager and even into my early 20s, the VMAs were a big thing back then.
Yeah,
and we used to make a point, a bunch of us would get together and watch those, and at a certain point they just turned to shit.
Yep.
It did. It just you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they had the VMAs, and there was another one that MTV did
MTV
too.
Movie Awards. The MTV Movie Awards.
Yep.
And we never missed those. That was something that's we didn't miss. And
they were good.
Yeah, they were fun. You always the performances were good. The comedy was funny. The presenters were witty. The jokes were on point. And you had a stake in it because you were following these artists and actors and stuff like that. Because it was before the days of the interwebs. For most of it was or not before the internet, but before widespread, the way everything is now, and has been since early 2000s basically. So that last window, from 95 to 2000, before everything went, and blew up online. And I mean, like I said, it's funny. I feel like the old man yelling at the clouds, but it's I remember when every commercial didn't have a website, in it. You know what I mean? And speaking of commercials, real quick, gang, we're gonna give a word from our friends over at Doom Scholar Studios right now.
Yaskowitz from Dune Scholar Studios again. If you're interested in seeing our efforts to make entertainment great again, or if you're interested in helping us do it, I'll ask you to get a look at our website, www.dss-ent.com. Our first online graphic series is there to be seen, The Last Survivors, Forgotten Son, based on a novel written by myself and Mr. Declan Finn. As of right now, the story is still in the prologue, although I can promise you'll see more from our artist Danielle Stover in the near future. That's www.dss-ent.com.
And what kind of host would I be if I did not also thank my channel members? So thank you all. Here's your thank. All right, and it's fitting that we played the Nitro music because, well, ladies and gents, we're gonna talk a little wrestling. We're gonna talk a little WCW wrestling, which is my favorite kind of wrestling. So let's do it, shall we? We'll go through this article from the Sportster, which I've got a war chest of these old articles just sitting in my email inbox right now. The first 10 episodes of WCW Nitro ranked worst to best. If you guys know, this is a nice little segue for myself, but I just reviewed the first Nitro last week. That one dropped on Tuesday, I believe it was. That'll probably be the case this week. I'm going to spend basically all day Monday, Tuesday, wrapping that up, getting that packaged up and out to the channel members first, and we'll drop it public on we'll keep it for 2 days again, drop it public on Thursday, go to the channel members on Tuesday. So we got that going on. So if there's no single release videos out until Tuesday night, that's why, because I'll spend my time working on that one. I'm trying to expedite my recording process a little bit because, well, the streaming service that has the WCW wrestling on it makes it a little difficult for old ETEP to get some screen recording, but that's okay. You know, as Jeff Goldblum said, Jurassic Park, life finds a way. So here we are, WCW Nitro. Remember this, guys? The shaving of the mustache.
Yep.
The shaving of Hogan's mustache.
Yes.
So let's see, on September 4th, 95, WCW Nitro was born, a television show that fought toe-to-toe with Monday Night Raw, thus creating the Monday Night Wars. Frankly, the first 10 episodes of Nitro weren't a big deal, but they were very important for laying the foundation for future episodes of one of the best wrestling shows in history. It's the best. I don't care how many episodes Raw's been on.
Yep, agreed.
Never convinced me otherwise. So here, the first few episodes featured enjoyable matches and interesting storylines with legends like Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Sting, Arn Anderson, Randy Savage, Eddie Guerrero, among others. Without further ado, here are the first 10 episodes of Nitro, ranked from worst to best. And I will say the inaugural match for Nitro was fucking brilliant to put Pillman out there with Yushin Thunder Liger, because they tore it up at Super Brawl 92. I went back and watched that match. It's a fucking great match. I'd check that one out. It's on Peacock. The pay-per-view is. If you just watch that match, it's worth it. But they mentioned on commentary that Liger was coming off a broken leg at that point, but he didn't really lose much of, if anything, in the ring. I mean, the dude was still flying all over the place. And he's still active now on the indies, I think. If not just maybe a few years removed. In his 50s, I believe. And still working. Which, that dude, he's a living legend, He doesn't, like, guys like him, and I think Ultimo Dragon always deserve more credit. But let's see. Number 10 is Nitro number 4. Let's see. This was September 25th, 95. Amongst the first 10 episodes of Nitro, this is arguably the worst. All the matches were a waste of time. Alex Wright defeated Disco Inferno in a mediocre match. Kurosawa and Craig Pittman delivered a short and boring match. And Randy Savage lost by DQ to the Taskmaster.
Yeah.
The main event between Ming and Luger was no big deal either. The only interesting parts in the episode are segments involving Hogan, Pillman, and Arn Anderson. Well, in a few weeks, I'll be reviewing that for you all. Number 9, WCW Nitro number 9. A very good promo from Flair, Anderson, and Pillman is the highlight of this episode, as well as a couple funny moments from Bobby Heenan. As for the wrestling, the episode sucked. Guerrero vs. Pittman in the opening match offered nothing more than a couple of suplexes, powerbomb, and a smattering of Eddie's arsenal. Norton and the Shark had a match that ended in a disappointing double counter. Yeah, but they really didn't set Scott Norton up to succeed.
Yeah.
Did they?
No.
We'll talk.
And they kind of sort of like tried to build it up, like in the first episode.
They did,
if I remember correctly, and then it just went nowhere.
They built him up. They built Fire and Ice, and then they were broke up, and then they jobbed those guys out. Then they jobbed Scott Norton out, and it's like, dude, this guy's a fucking, like, all the titles he won in Japan, all the honors he got in Japan and shit, and he just gets so misbooked. It's like, how? Politics backstage, I'm sure. But he was in the NWO, which honestly, should have put him ahead of some other guys because, of who was doing the booking at that point. You know what I mean? I mean, not back then. It was still Kevin Sullivan, but Norton was still around when Nash had the book too. So it's like, I don't know. I thought, you give your man the rub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, we also saw a fleeting match between Sabu and Disco Inferno. And the main event between Luger Ming and the American males was decent, nothing more. They're an underrated tag team. Riggs and Bagwell, they were talented, and that was before Buff Bagwell's ego really took off and ruined his career. You know what I mean? Kind of sabotaged him.
Yeah, they were a talented, like, up and coming team. I think Riggs probably could have went further. I don't know if it was just he didn't apply himself or just wrong place, wrong time. But Buff, he definitely could have been a lot more had he not learned from the wrong people in the WCW locker room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because didn't he get addicted to like pain pills and stuff like that or whatever?
Probably, but it was more his ego that was.
Gotcha.
Like everyone does pills in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yep.
I felt bad for the way him and Booker's match went on that when they tried to do Nitro on Raw.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That shit, dude. I was so excited when that match started. I was like, you see the WCW ref, the WCW logo. I'm like, holy fucking shit, dude. I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, are they actually going to do this? And it's like the match ended in such a shitty way. I was just literally sitting there going like, really?
We got to go back and watch that sometime. I haven't seen it since it happened.
That's what we should do once we're done with the Monday Night Wars. We should go through the invasion.
I'm down. I'm down for that.
I know it's a long way off, but
it is.
It just wasn't very good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But we can tear it apart.
It was botched. Here, say hi.
Hi.
What's up, Ice Hawk?
What's up, Fire Turkey?
Say hi to the chat too. Say hi to Draven.
Hi, Draven.
Hey.
Hey, say hi to Tim's Talk. He just showed up.
Hi, Tim's Talk.
Say what's up, Kylo Tim.
What's up, Kylo Tim?
How'd you like Sonic?
Oh, wait. Oh, go ahead. Tony.
No, I was just asking how he liked Sonic.
Tell Tony how you like Sonic.
I did. Can I tell you what came at the post-credit scene?
No spoilers. No, Tony hasn't seen it yet.
Oh.
No spoil. Jesus.
I did not know you had.
Yeah, he hasn't seen it yet. We can't.
Yeah, no spoilers. I haven't read Half-Blood Prince yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
We can't spoil it for Tony.
Like right after that book came out, a shirt came out on tshirthell.com and it was like Dumbledore dies on page 684 or whatever. Wanted to get that shirt.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Say hi to Superfan.
Hi, Superfan.
Say hi to who else? Hang on, let's see. Say hi to Red Gaze.
Hi, Red Gaze.
And
wait, Dad, could you make it so it's bigger so I can show my outfit?
That's what she said. There. Here, watch your feet. Watch the throne. All right.
All right.
Come here.
Oh. I'm on my dad's lap.
All right, you get a couple. Come on. What are you doing? There. I know that. There. All right. Tell Tony what you liked about the movie without giving spoilers.
I have to talk about it.
Well.
I have to say about.
What?
I have to say about.
You're so fired. I'm firing him already.
Are you guys gonna do a joint review for the channel?
You know what? I think I might. That's what because I told him I won't work on Sundays anymore, so I can hang out with him. But if we could record basically just record a little 10-minute review with him and
Daddy.
I. Yeah. I wasn't talking or anything, but go ahead, bud.
I just tooted on your lap.
Okay, you're fired.
No! I'm just rubbing it back on you.
What the hell? All right. We're done.
Wait, what?
I'll be right back.
Yes. So, man, there are a lot of bad episodes of Nitro, but there are a lot of good ones too.
Mhm.
Like,
All right. Say goodbye.
Bye!
later, man.
Bye, fire.
Later.
Wait.
Okay.
Bye, fire turkey.
Bye, Ice Hawk.
Say bye to Draven.
Bye, Draven.
Take
All
it
right.
easy.
All right. You're out.
I will move this back.
All right. Yep. Move the light. Don't knock
Yeah,
the Jesus and Santa Maria off the wall.
I was going to say, in the, close to a year, we're rounding out our first year on the Monday Night War retrospective this Tuesday. And not in real time, but in TV time. We've only been going about 6 months now, but there have definitely been more better episodes of Nitro than there are Raw. I don't know if there has been any like good episodes of Raw, but just some that aren't as bad as the others.
Yeah. At least not yet.
Yeah,
that I can think of.
It's coming. Like,
All right.
in about another 3 months, we should be around March 97, and that's where they revamp it to Raw's War, and it really picks up from there.
Nice.
So would you say business would be really picking up at that point?
Yeah, and we'll be looking at like Brett versus Austin coming up, and they start to find their footing.
Is that when we get DX and stuff, or?
And that's coming a little later in 97, and then we're also going to get the really interesting like storyline where Brett turns heel and has the Hart Foundation is getting cheered in Canada and booed in the United States, and yeah, that was always good TV.
Oh yeah, dude, you get the Canadian reaction versus the American reaction of Brett. It was that shit was funny.
Yeah, and
right now they're kind of like building whether or not Brett is like gonna retire or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Which that at least makes sense, because that WrestleMania match was like bullshit. Like, again, it was Shawn's job to beat Brett. It wasn't Brett's job to beat Shawn. He just had to defend the title, but the challenger has to defeat the champion. And you hit that 60 minutes in the Iron Man match, and what do you got? Brett in the middle of the ring applying the sharpshooter to Shawn Michaels. So for them to come out and say, well, we're going into sudden death overtime. No, Shawn had to get more pins than Brett in that hour, and he didn't. And if you're going to play off where they were, Shawn had nowhere to go, stuck in that sharpshooter.
Yep.
So, like, I know, again, like, it is just bad booking. They should have booked it better, where Shawn gets the win right before the end of the time or something. But I'd be pissed if I were Brett too.
Yeah, if that's how they want to put the match over, that really, it is. It's bad. Who had the book then? That was probably all Vince, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Russo wasn't there yet, so it would be like the Vinces, Pat Pattersons. I think J.J. Dillon was there at the time.
J.J. Dillon was there? Really?
Yeah. And see, what they were building for, too, why Brett's gone is because the next WrestleMania, it was supposed to be Brett versus Shawn again, with Brett going over on Shawn, and HBK ain't going to do it. He's going to lose his smile or whatever, and not put Brett over how he is supposed to, and then they'll go along like that all the way to Survivor Series 97. That was one reason Brett didn't want to do the job again, because Shawn never put him over and he was supposed to. But yeah, I'm talking about Raw, and we're on Nitro right now.
Dude, I was showing Draven this earlier. I don't know if I showed you this. This is a WWE program from 03 I got at SmackDown. And they have the road agents. Shit, there's that article from the. I gotta show that out too here real quick. But yeah, so I was showing this to Draven earlier, and this lists the road agents. And hey, look over here. There's our boy, Where's he at? Right there. It's me. It's Pat Patterson.
It's me,
But,
silly.
Yeah. So they list all the
What's the brown haired guys beside him? What was his name too?
Jerry Briscoe.
That's it.
One of the Briscoe, the original Briscoe brothers.
Those two bumbling in it. Him and Pat Patterson back on Rawls, bumbling fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And this right here is from Friday, July 31st, 1998. This is in, like I said, either my mom or I cut this out of the Detroit news. And this is how big wrestling was
huge,
back then.
Yeah.
They're writing about it in the Detroit news, back then was a huge deal. And it breaks down the Monday Night Wars. The article's great. This is beautiful. I'm actually going to laminate this. But it talks about Scott Hall's no contest match against Sting ended when NWO Hollywood and the Wolfpack ran in. Bret Hart, Sting tried and failed to trap Bret Hart in the Scorpion Deathlock. Jericho retained his cruiserweight title over Dean Malenko when the referee disqualified Malenko for using brass knuckles. Bischoff and Hogan continued to taunt Jay Leno. In his latest plan is Bischoff, Hogan, the disciple to face Page and Leno and Kevin Eubanks at Road Wild on August 8th. And then on Raw that night, Bart Gunn knocked out Dr. Death. He knocked out my boy Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Oh, son of a bitch. In an upset in the Brawl for All match. Maivia retained his Intercontinental title in a triple threat against Triple H and X-Pac, which they spelled X-Pac. X-P-O-K, if you can make that out. But, yeah. So here's the ratings, too. Raw beat Nitro 4.8 to 4.7. But during the head-to-head segment, Nitro won 4.799 to 4.783, according to douchebag Dave Meltzer. So, yeah.
Huge numbers, though.
Those are fucking massive numbers. Yeah, Judas Sergeant Slaughter was still one of the road agents back then. But, yeah, so that was the apex of professional wrestling right there. That 97 to 99, before WCW's quality really started dipping 2000 because of Russo and Ferrara, and then Bischoff coming back and the financial shit. Yeah. That shit like broke. I still was religiously watching Nitro and Thunder.
Yeah, I watched WCW until Stone Cold dropped the beam on the DX bus. And that was basically like the end of DX. Like after that, pretty much.
See, I would, like I said, I'd record Raw, but I would always watch Nitro. I was so loyal to it that you could see, like, kind of it wasn't in good shape, just by the way people were leaving and and
a lot of it was because one of my buddies at work or at school would be talking about fucking WWF all the time. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to be able to talk wrestling with my buddy. So
yeah, I know. Like when I was growing up, like all my friends watched WWF, and I was watching like Crockett Promotion shit, or whatever was on TBS.
Yeah.
But I watched WWF too. But I always gravitated towards the Southern style more. I just did. So number 8 is Nitro number 6. The 6th episode of WCW Nitro wasn't bad, but it could have been better. The steel cage match between Arn and Flair was fine, but too short. Sabu and Mr. JL put on an entertaining bout. The match between Big Bubba Rogers and Road Warrior Hawk was a bad joke, and Sting retained the U.S. title after defeating the Shark in 1 minute. I will say this, that year, which I can't wait to review Fall Brawl, which I've already got it. It's all written up. Like the first 2 Nitros and Fall Brawl are written up. The match between Arn and Flair was really good. That was like the highlight of the night on Fall Brawl 95 was that fucking match. But yeah, let's see. Nitro number 3 is number 7. In the opening match, the American males defeated the Harlem Heat to become the WCW Tag Team Champions, which was surprising. Orndorff and Johnny B. Bad put on a decent show, and the main event between Flair and Flying Brian was great. Nevertheless, none of these matches were truly outstanding, and the best thing of this episode was the confrontation between Macho Man and Lex Luger, including a savage promo from Randy. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy how long ago that is now.
Yeah.
I mean, here we go. Nitro number 2. This is, okay, as Hogan matches go, like when this one started out, Hogan was using some chain. Like you see him do like a drop down wrist lock, and he's doing almost like a toe hold. He did a little bit of chain at the beginning. I can't call the exact sequence. I gotta watch the match again. I mean, I got my review right here. I could probably just look through it, but he did. I was like, I just remember being surprised because it's like I hadn't seen, before we watched it for Tony's show, I remember when we watched it for that, I was like, damn, Hogan did chain, but then it's like he was actually trained, and knew how to do this shit, but he just never had to because all he had to do was punches and, take heat, body slam, clothesline, and, a few rest holds here and there. But, he's got the shit in his repertoire, he just didn't use it. The second episode of Nitro was solid, featured 4 short but entertaining matches. Savage versus Scott Norton. Sabu defeated Alex Wright, but after the match, Sabu didn't stop his attack on Wright, and the referee decided to reverse the decision. Damn you, Nick Patrick.
It was Sabu's debut, I think.
Yeah, it was, because they teased his appearance. He had a promo on the first Nitro, and the second one, it was his debut.
Then he had another 1 or 2 matches and was gone from the company.
Yep, he was gone. Hulk Hogan defended the WCW World title against Lex Luger, a match that was going pretty well, but the Dungeon of Doom showed up and attacked Hogan, and therefore Luger was disqualified. 5, Nitro number 8. Oh, God. Mustacheless, dark side Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Or he wasn't Hollywood then. He was just Hulk Hogan. This episode was pretty good, but he looks like Hollywood. It was a good opening match with Savage making Kurosawa look great before making a quick comeback to get the win. Eddie Guerrero and Mr. JL defeated Benoit and Malenko in an excellent match. It's funny that Benoit and Malenko were teaming back then. Then they would feud. Then they would later become horsemen together.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, even seeing them, go at each other because I remember them being in the horsemen together. So
yeah.
What the hell?
And,
And then later they form, what was it, Evolution or Revolution or Revolution?
They were the Revolution. The Radicals.
That's it.
The Radicals. Because they all left for WWF at the same time.
I was thinking about that. Benoit won the WCW World title and then left WWF. Like his last match, he won the world title. So technically, all the other champions after that have been invalid. Everyone in WWF, everyone. You have to dig up Benoit's corpse and pin those shoulders to the mat. Mm-hmm. So did that become the Universal Championship? Remember when Cena and Norton merged the titles? Or is that just a unified championship or whatever? I'm trying to figure out if that lineage is still in play today, because if it is, Roman Reigns might have some digging to do.
I hate how many times they've changed the titles around in the Fed. I hate it. It's like each brand has all their own champions. It's very confusing. Yep. It is.
It's watered down as fuck too. It makes them less important.
Yeah, because you've got what? Do you have 2 sets of women's tag champs or just one?
I'm not sure on that one.
I know there's NXT tag champs and SmackDown tag champs
for women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you've got two female titles. You've got basically the heavyweight women's title, the Lizzo title. And you've got the world. You have the world title, or is it the WWE title and the Universal title? How does that? I don't even know. I fucking hate. It's like, Jesus Christ. This is the problem with the brand split. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're fucking. It's whatever, if somebody wants to come over from another show and challenge for the belt, okay, wherever the champion's brand is, you have to go to that show. And that's something you can build a whole angle around, you know. So-and-so from SmackDown wants a challenge for the World Heavyweight title, which currently resides on Raw with, you know, I don't know, you know, who the fuck ever, Roman Reigns. Is Reigns on Raw? Is he Raw?
Reigns is SmackDown, I believe.
Who the fuck was the champion on Raw then? Who did I watch at WrestleMania that was Raw? I don't know.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know. So we'll
maybe
just
it's I don't know. It's fucking dumb.
So we'll just say fucking Edge, and fucking who the fuck did he work at Mania? Who the fuck did AJ Styles?
Yeah.
Okay, so AJ Styles.
I need
SmackDown.
to watch that match. I started.
It was
to watch
good.
It, never finished.
It was good.
It. But I like how Edge's angle is right now. I like his gimmick.
So you got AJ on SmackDown. Edge is the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. AJ, they have a contract signing, you know, right there. It's got to be on Raw. So AJ comes to Raw, signs the contract. All right. So they build, you know, you have a couple weeks worth of build to the pay-per-view. You know, you tease, you have the press conference, you have a contract signing, you know, less is more. But you can have a couple matches, you know, they're going to have to end in fuck finishes because you want to keep it, you know, title's not on the line, but, you know, we're going to, some stipulation, something, you know, AJ wants a shot now, you know, so Edge is like, okay, you know, a couple weeks for the pay-per-view, you want a shot, you know, maybe Edge would be the heel. Edge would heel out, you know, just pop, I'm out, you know, something happens, just leave, which is like, what the fuck, you know, AJ's like, what the, you know, hey, awesome one, what's going on?
Well, you could also do like, you know, you never know who may interrupt like your champion, like from the other brand, like on the show, like you could set it up where like they're in their match and then fucking, since they want to challenge the opponent, they like just fucking show up and interrupt the match and like put it over on the guy that's, you know, whatever. But then they could do like, okay, well, we can't let that person come in here, and then they could have like security like try to stop them from like getting in the arena and do shit like that. And then eventually like it would lead into like the contract signing of the match and shit like that.
Hail Frankie. No, we didn't spoil anything. No spoilers. We talked about it, and we did not spoil anything. We didn't want to spoil it for Tony. He hasn't seen it yet. But me and Draven both love the movie. And like I said, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. And Draven, you were right in the same ballpark with that, right? Yeah, so welcome, Frankie. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you.
But right now, as far as like storylines go, like it feels like they only focus on the champions storylines, and then everything else just kind of gets like thrown to the wayside. Like they like might start it and then it just fizzles out like right away. There's no like building of everybody's storylines. Yeah,
you've got to give your mid card. You've got to give them stuff to do. You can't let them just get lost in the shuffle, because that's the meat and potatoes of your show right there. You know, the I don't know. It just bothers me when you don't have your mid card guys involved in angles, because that doesn't make sense. What do you think, Tony?
Good talk.
Good talk, Tony. Good talk. Okay. All right. Let's see here. We'll go back over to the article here. So let's see. We talked about this one. The main event, Sting and Luger and Harlem Heat versus Harlem Heat was run of the mill. Although we saw a nice brawl between Hogan and the Giant, who would face each other at the next Halloween. And the Yeti was in this episode. The Yeti. Number 4 is Nitro number 10. This was an episode that started out really bad but ended great. The Giant squashed Cobra in 16 seconds. Yeah. Taskmaster defeated the Renegade in less than 3 minutes. So the first part of the show sucked.
So ridiculous.
See, that's the thing though. Like sometimes those dude, you have to have squash matches like that.
Yeah.
You have to. Okay. So you've got the Giant and Cobra. You know, like Cobra's a big guy. That's like the NWO Sting. I mean, he was like 270 fucking pounds. He wasn't no little dude.
Yeah.
But
it's like Lance Archer in AEW. He's like, he has squash matches like all the fucking time. But then once you see him like square up with like a legend, or like there's a couple times where him and Sting have come like close to like going at it, and then they have like this mutual respect, or like what he's gonna do when he like comes in contact with like one of the other guys in the roster. Like is he gonna fuck him up, or is he gonna just like not do anything?
Yeah. What up, Tony?
What up?
I didn't know if you caught we were talking about or anything.
I just missed a couple seconds because stupid dogs.
No, you're fine, brother. What is your opinion on like squash matches? Like, I think they have a place on the card, and if you're gonna do 2 of them, you might as well make it on the first half of the card. I don't necessarily see that as bad booking, because you can have 2 people who are just monsters in different ways. Like with, for example, in this one with the Giant, Squash and Cobra, and then Kevin Sullivan in a glorified squash match against the Renegade, because it works with both characters, especially with them being heels.
I don't mind squash matches, but I want everyone on the card to have something going on, like there are jobbers who have storylines, people who lose often. I don't like it. Like, that's one thing about Nitro sometimes. I mean, they would bring out some guy that you maybe haven't seen on TV in 4 months to work a squash match, and you just don't have any interest by that point, So you should have your jobbers and have them, and Raw used to do that too. Like, but at least now everyone has a little something going on, where at least you know who they are. You see them week after week.
Like Disco Inferno, like he's he works squash matches and he has like a story.
Yeah, exactly.
He won the TV title a couple times.
But it's like when you fucking bring out these guys, I'm not trying to think of someone besides Mike Enos, but it's like you'll bring these guys out once every few months and you forget they're even with the company.
Do they even do squash matches anymore on like Raw and freaking SmackDown?
Kind of, they do, but like the person kind of has something going on, you at least again know who they are,
Yeah.
Here it is. This is the best jobber name of all time, Sunny Beach. Sunny Beach. Hey, dude, he was 6'4", 265. Yeah, I remember him. He was a jobber on WWF back in the day. I remember seeing him get like mauled by I can't remember who it was a couple times. Just like got destroyed on like WWF Superstars. Remember that Sunday afternoon show they used to have?
Yeah.
It was on was it noon? It was noon on Sundays, and that was, man, I because there was no WCW on Sundays. We had Sunday Night Main Event. They had that sometimes, but then you had was it WCW Pro was Saturday morning at 9 or Worldwide, and then you had Saturday night was 6:05 on TBS. But Sunday afternoon, it's like there was WWF on. I was like, shit, I'll watch that. My mom, we're going to church. I'm like, no, I'm not going today, Mom. I'm not going. I got to stay home. Okay. You just want to watch wrestling, don't you? Yeah. All right, go ahead and stay home. I'm like, thank God. I was like, I got to stay away from those priests. They wanted me to be an altar boy, bad. Like, why don't you come back to the rectal? I'm like, wait, what? Is that what it's called? They're like, no. I'm like, fuck you, I'm out. Let's see. So Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit delivered a solid match because, of course, they fucking did, because it was Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. Sting and Ric Flair bout was pretty good, with the typical tricks of the dirtiest player in the game and Sting's cool offensives. Also, there was important segments for the World War III pay-per-view. And Sting and Flair worked. This was the 10th Nitro. They worked on the first Nitro too. And that was the match where Luger came and interrupted, and then Arn came in and broke up the figure 4. Number 3, Nitro number 1. Speaking of Sting and Flair, the first episode of Nitro was on September 4th, 95. In terms of wrestling, frankly, the episode was ordinary, but there was memorable segments such as the debut of Lex Luger in the puffy shirt from Seinfeld, who later confronted Hulk Hogan in epic fashion. And then he said he's sick and tired of playing with kids. Flying Brian Pillman defeated Yushin Thunder Liger in an enjoyable match. The match between Flair and Sting was a little bit disappointing, and Hogan defeated Big Bubba in a lousy bout. Number 2 was Nitro number 7. In this episode of Nitro, Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit delivered a phenomenal match. The best match the first 10 episodes of Nitro, without a doubt. This match was spectacular, but it was too short to be a classic. The rest of the show was average. The main event featured Sting and Flair facing Anderson and Pillman. Match was pretty good, but a count-out finish is never amazing. And number 1 is Nitro number 5. Oh, God. Here's your favorite picture, Tony.
I can't believe he shaved his mustache off.
That was the first time I think I'd ever seen him without it. Because I don't think he ever shaved it off before that, you know? This episode was excellent. Maybe people remember it mostly because it was when the Dungeon of Doom attacked Hogan by surprise and shaved his mustache. Or maybe people remember this episode because the entertaining match between Arn Anderson and Ric Flair. Overall, the whole episode was fun to watch. Luger and Savage put on an enjoyable show, and Eddie Guerrero defeated Dean Malenko in a very good match as well. So, yeah, that's Nitro number 5 ended up being number 1 on that list.
Nice.
I thought that was fun. I thought that'd be fun. Do you guys want to do another one of those?
Yeah, we can.
I don't care. All right. Let's let me take a moment here real quick. Let's gotta show the PO box though. Here we go. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to tell you. Do you want to send us stuff? Because this is how you send us stuff. We have a PO box now. That's right. PO Box 924, Prudenville, Michigan 48657. If you have anything you'd like to send in to the Place to Be Reviews, that's where it goes, and that's where your packages will be coming from as well when I ship things out to you, my Kazooians. All right, so I got 2 of them pulled up. I'll give you guys the titles, and then you can just let me know which one you want to do. We've got 10 things fans forgot about Raven's WCW career, and 10 great tag team wrestlers who flopped as single stars.
I guess the tag team one.
You all right with that one, Tony?
It works for me.
All right, let's check the tag team one out here. All right. So right off the bat, we see Marty Jannetty up there. And
yep.
I'll show you guys. See, so we'll just go down to the list here. Number 10, Paul Roma. Paul Roma's an interesting case of a guy who was rough in singles work, but surprisingly good in tag teams. He started in WWE, it's WWF, as part of the Young Stallions. When that ended, floundered in singles ranks. He and Hercules formed Power and Glory and looked on the way to winning the tag titles, but that never happened. In WCW, he became part of the Four Horsemen to hold the tag titles with Arn Anderson. He and Paul Orndorff held the belts twice, is pretty wonderful. But Roma's ego was his own worst enemy. He was blackballed after complaining over jobbing to Alex Wright and never worked as a single star as well as in teams.
Wow.
So Paul Roma is number 10. I remember like when they were the Young Stallions, him and Jimmy Powers in the Fed. And Jim actually, in one of the Nitros I just watched for the show, for Tony's show, Jimmy Powers and Bagwell had a match, and they actually won, and then it got reversed because reasons. Number 9, Charlie Haas. Yeah, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, when they did like the World's Greatest Tag Team, were money.
I remember that.
Oh, you don't?
Mm-mm.
That was back in like it was like 03, 04. In that one, yeah. But yeah, they won the belts multiple times.
I remember Shelton Benjamin. That's for sure. But
I met him. He was super freaking cool.
Nice.
Him and Bull Buchanan both. Charlie Haas is a lucky man though, because he married Jackie Gata. So well played, Mr. Charlie Haas. Let's see. Here we go. Number 8, Ricky Morton. Oh God, this is when he was Richard Morton with the York Foundation in WCW. Tony, you remember that?
I don't.
You don't remember the York Foundation?
Nope.
You had like him, you had like Morton, Terrence Taylor, Shit, hang on. Let me look up the rest because it was actually the York Foundation. Here we go. Let's see. So you had Alexandra York, which is Terry Runnels. You had Michael Wall. You had Michael Wall Street, Terry Taylor, aka the Red Rooster, Ricky Morton, Tommy Rich. Wildfire Tommy Rich, and Mr. Hughes. And like Terry Taylor was like when he was in there he was the computerized man, and he'd be outside the ring and she'd have her computer and she'd like punch stuff in there, and he was like, I'm looking up formulas on ways to beat my opponent. And they do that in promos and shit. And then Terry Taylor came to the WWF and made him the red. That whole gimmick was a rib that Vince made him do, like to kind of was like an atonement for something.
What was it? The Red Rooster?
The Red Rooster.
Oh.
They made him dye his hair. He was blonde, and they made him dye the center red and do like a mohawk with it, and he'd have to come out and do like the fucking rooster walk and shit.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, it was retarded.
Yeah.
It was fucking retarded. And he could wrestle. That was the thing. But he was nothing. Like, he won a couple like mid-range matches when he was a Red Rooster. But I remember he jobbed out a lot too, though. Vince turned him into a jobber. But so this is Richard Morton. We all know the Rock and Roll Express. Let's see. Jim Neidhart. That one's no surprise. I mean, after him and Brett, split the Hart Foundation, he was just lost. I think he tagged with I Want Me title shot as in WCW for a minute because they were both over there at the same time. But I forgot about the Who character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, he had a match or whatever last week.
Jim Neidhart did?
No, the Who.
Oh. Devon Dudley, number 6. What, making him Reverend Devon and putting him with Deacon Dave Batista wasn't a good thing, Like,
no, it was bad.
It was bad. You don't split up the Dudley boys.
Exactly.
Like, that was the worst. Dude, I wish we could show the fucking Heatwave 98 promo just because I want to watch it right now. That is still one of my favorite promos, just because of how savage Bubba was with the crowd. Like, I literally, man, like when I got to cut my promos and they're like, just be, just go full, okay, I'm going to tear these people apart, and it's fun to just let that loose, man. That was arguably one of the best tag teams in the history of wrestling. And Vince is like, let's split them up. Number 5, Michael P.S. Hayes. The Freebirds were the shit back in the day. Him, Jimmy Jam, and Bam Bam Gordy. Yeah.
Never seen them.
No?
Mm-mm. I gotta go back and watch before Nitro because I don't know if I remember much.
The old Freebird rules matches. Oh, dude, the Freebirds. They battled with the Rock and Roll Express. Then you have the Midnight Express. Yeah, man. Midnight Express is there was a couple different. I think Dennis Condrey was in. Mine was always Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton. That's the iteration that I was more familiar with. The other one was a little bit, that was before I started following them more. But yeah, I like I was like that. But yeah, the Rock and Roll, and it's funny, dude, because we're still seeing the Rock and Roll Express show up on Nitro.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
And it's like they just worked. It was one of the ones I watched for Tony's show, and they worked the Harlem Heat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you talk about two generations colliding. just the difference in styles between Stevie and Booker and Ricky and Robert. It's crazy. I mean, and then Ricky and Robert look like two just guys that'd be sitting at the end of the bar, and Stevie and Booker are these two just huge, like muscular black men. You know what I mean? But it's a very like, because Ricky and Robert at this point are at the tail end of their careers, like in the mainstream. Like they would go on to work in the indies after this still, but it's just like you just look at him and because Ricky still had the mullet. I mean it's we're talking 96. It's like we're mullets. Yeah, the mullet was still clinging on at that point. So Michael P.S. Hayes. Well, go ahead,
again, Like Kurt Cobain was dead at this point, and people still had a mullet. Like,
yeah.
Like that whole fad had coming on.
My dad used to wear a mullet for years. And then I was like, dude, that's a mullet. He's like, what's a mullet? And I was like, party in the business in front, party in the back. And then he eventually got rid of it.
I had one for a minute when I was like probably 10. It wasn't like a severe one though.
It's like
it was like
tails.
Yep.
I used to have a rat tail back in the day.
Yep. That's what it looked like. And I was like, my cousin came up and he's like, man, you need to shave that, dude. He goes, just shave that. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, you just get. So his mom took me to the barber shop when I went, because I went to stay at their house. And she even looked at me, she goes, you need a haircut. I'm like, all right. So she took me, and I always used to do like a high and tight, like flat top, Mm-hmm. The Chris Mullen, as I used to call it back in the day, for those 80s and 90s kids that were familiar with the NBA. Chris Mullen, the old white dude, had the flat top. That's what I used to rock. Off season, I'd let the mane grow out, but that doesn't happen anymore. So Michael P.S. Hayes, speaking of good heads of hair, Michael P.S. Hayes, number 5. Let's roll down number 4. Sweet Stan Lane. See that? Stan Lane and Bobby Eastern. Yeah, Stan Lane was a true master in tag teams. He and Steve Kern formed the Fabulous Ones, one of the best teams of their time. Then Lane joined the Midnight Express, where he and Bobby Eaton had a terrific unit holding multiple titles. Eaton went on to a decent singles career, including a WCW TV champion. Bobby Eaton always looks like an overgrown baby, though.
Mm-hmm.
And look at Jim Cornette. Doesn't his glasses look too big for his face there?
They do. Those were the style of glasses though back then.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looks like an autistic Eddie Redmayne. Slightly.
Oh, man.
We'll accept that. We've come to peace with it. We'll accept that answer.
I'm just saying, like, look at Jim Cornette and look at Bobby Eaton. Like, you've got a big 300-pound baby in that dude. Like, any other profession that would be on the registry, any other circumstance in the world or anything, those two should not be hanging out. It's just weird, especially if Eaton's wearing a diaper, a big pink one. Like, it's wrong.
It's funny.
Let's see. On the other hand, Lane melted away in the Indies, returned to Smoky Mountain form to the Hollywood Blondes, retiring in 93. For a talented guy, Lane couldn't break away from the tag team as well as Eaton did. Number 3, Wildcat Chris Harris. I used to like them when they were America's Most Wanted. Him and James Storm.
No idea.
Yeah.
Cowboy James Storm and Wildcat Chris Harris. Yeah, dude. I liked them because they had a good feud with the Dudleys in TNA. TNA had some good they had some good fucking wrestling. I even though I'd never liked the 6-sided ring, it was awkward. But they had some good matches back then. Y'all remember good TNA matches, don't you?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I actually didn't watch any of TNA back in the day.
Oh, really?
Until like Hogan and them were there. I seen like snippets of it here and there. I was basically done with wrestling at that point because that was like after the invasion angle and all that stuff. So I was basically, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to watch any of this shit.
Well, I was still watching a little bit here and there, you know, not as nowhere near as religiously as I'd never watched pay-per-views because I was living, living on my own. I was like, I'm not fucking ordering these here. I have to pay for them. You know, I never paid for them at my parents' house because we had the satellite gimmick to where I didn't have to pay for that shit. But no, I kind of. And then, like, some of my friends started would order them still, and I'd go over there occasionally. They'd invite me over, and I'd watch them. But I'd try to watch WrestleMania somewhere.
Now I'll watch, like, clips and stuff of TNA, like, the stuff with Sting when he was, like, had the Joker kind of, like, gimmick kind of thing going on. And then, Jay Lethal with his Ric Flair stuff. And, so good.
If you go to TNA between probably 2006 and 2010, there's gold in them there hills, because you get a lot of the WCW guys at the tail end of their runs, and a lot of guys that were working like Ring of Honor, bigger indie companies, maybe Japan, or just couldn't get into the Fed, or they got like a tryout match and nothing ever materialized, like Frankie Kazarian, Kaz. He was he ended up did the suicide. Do you remember that gimmick, Tony?
I remember Kazarian and Kaz. I don't.
Yeah.
know.
But Kazarian did a gimmick under a mask called Suicide. He basically looked like Deadpool.
Oh yeah, I remember people were saying it's kind of a dumb name for a wrestler, because like if you're a wrestler, you probably want to commit homicide. Like I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there was already a homicide, but he was Mexican.
Yeah. But it's just like suicide. What, you're gonna fuck yourself up? I mean, I don't know. It's a weird name for someone trying to put out offense, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but him. That damn. The name. Yeah, it just throws you off a little bit.
We've got someone joining us. Yeah,
Vinny.
Hey, what's up, gents?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Not bad, not bad. I was on Walton's before. I didn't see the link until now.
It's all good. Like I said, I knew you hadn't seen the movie yet because we talked earlier. Okay. So, we talked Sonic at the beginning. We didn't spoil anything for anybody because me and Draven watched it. We didn't want to spoil it for Tony. So
okay, excellent. Yeah, I'd like to see them eventually. Just I haven't seen the first one yet, so I'm not going to see the second one yet.
Okay, I couldn't remember if you hadn't seen the first one. But it's worth it. It's the second one is fucking awesome, man. It really is.
Oh, good.
It's like since Ghostbusters gave you that nice warm feeling at the end with the call. That's what this does. This whole movie is man. It just ends up and wraps up in a nice warm blanket, and you're comfortable and you're happy.
That's
to
really
me
cool.
that's
yeah.
That's what they got to do, Hollywood.
Yep.
That's it. Make better fucking movies and programs for everybody. It'll generate money.
Yeah, and that's it, dude. And it's already what I say earlier, guys. 56 million.
Something like it.
Very cool.
And it's Saturday night, so those aren't. That's just Thursday. Like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday numbers.
Yep.
So.
And they have a holiday weekend coming up.
Yep. So this movie's going to easily double or triple what Morbius did.
Excellent. Yeah.
So
Morbius is
man.
Isn't it? They hang it up already.
I do. It's still clinging.
1 week.
It's clinging to life in theaters after 1 week. Yeah. So we'll wrap. We'll go through the rest of this list here. We had let's see. So we had Wildcat Chris Harris. Number 2, Buff Bagwell. I don't think he flopped as a singles wrestler.
So either.
I would consider his career post-American males to be vastly superior to his tag team time, which he was good. And he had that other tag team with Scott Norton, Vicious and Delicious, which I like those two together. I like their dynamic. But
sounds very ambiguous.
He was good. He was great as a singles guy, though.
The fact that they're referring to him as Buff Bagwell rather than Marcus Bagwell kind of shows that, like, because he became buff after he split from the American males.
Yeah. Is everybody okay?
Frazier.
I know. Did Ray Rice just punch his wife in an elevator somewhere in somebody's mic?
Nah, I just made a mess.
It was Will Smith finally slapping Jada. No, that would never happen.
Draven spilled his cereal.
Nah, I got some food and I just dropped it.
God damn it, Draven.
You were accurate.
Can't have nice things. See?
That never gets old.
So let's see. Number 1, Marty Jannetty. I killed a guy. What, Marty? Nothing.
These things happen.
It's sad but true that Marty Jannetty is the poster boy for tag wrestlers who flop while partner becomes megastar. The Rockers were one of the best teams of their time and arguably the greatest team to never hold the tag titles. They split in 92. Shawn embarked on his fantastic run as champion to become an icon. Matty,
not so much.
Sadly, was mired in personal issues. A brief run as Intercontinental Champion, briefer as Tag Champ, but never close to upper mid-card status. He bounced around WCW and back, but poor Jannetty has to forever live in Shawn's shadow. Ouch.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Oh, son of a... Where's it? Wait, do I have it?
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch!
And then Marty killed a guy. Marty's like, hey, I killed a hooker. Well, you know, Marty, they're not real people.
That wasn't. It was a hooker. I thought it was somebody else.
It wasn't a hooker. Who was it, Tony? Do you remember?
I just remember he posted like some cryptic tweets.
Yeah.
But I don't know many details of it.
He killed him with a brick, and he left him by the border. Come on, man!
Didn't Jimmy Snuka murder like his girlfriend?
Yep. Yeah. Jimmy Snuka was.
I saw him once at a convention, like towards the end, and he looked bad. It was just like Depression Alley, you know. Where he was literally in the corner with like a couple of other like has-beens that, and it was all tight and dark in the corner too.
Yeah,
it was bad. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, he killed somebody. I didn't want to shake his hand. As a kid, I used to love watching him perform, but after knowing all that shit, I'm like, I don't want to meet this guy.
So, I met him. I met Superfly in 2004. I think it was. And I didn't know about the murder then. I had no idea. So he's working at a show here in my hometown at this Plaza Hotel, and they had a big ass atrium, and they used to throw badass Golden Gloves boxing tournaments there, like once or twice a year. You come in, they have Golden Gloves. They'd have like fucking 15 fights. I would always get a ringside. The ringside table was like $230. So I get a ringside table for me and like 7 of my friends. Hey, my uncle was part owner of the hotel. So we'd get a fucking bar tab, and, you know, I just paid for the table. He's like, just pay for the table and the drinks are, you know, I'm like, okay. So, you know, cause he knew we were going to tip. So dude, you'd get like 15 fights in over like 3-4 hours. It was fucking great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But they had wrestling shows there. So I go with like a couple of my friends, and I took one of the kids that lived in my building, a friend of mine, her son. I was like, he wanted to go watch a wrestling show. So we're going, and we're walking in and out. Now, as a wrestler, as a worker, as part of the business, you never stand where the fucking marks are going to be coming in and out of the building. Jimmy is standing right outside the front door smoking a fucking cigarette in his gimmick.
Oh, jeez.
Full regalia. Smoking a square. And I'm just like, now mind you, I'm like about 24, 25. I'm like, Superfly! And he fucking threw it back, and I got in the ring. I have the Polaroid. I have it somewhere. This is how, like I said, I have a Polaroid of me and him in the ring. I'm looking almost a foot taller than this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm even taller than him now because he's dead. But
yeah, at least an extra 6 feet.
Yeah, I got at least 6'2" on him now. I might have shrunk an inch, but no, it's fucking funny. It's like that was the first time I ever got in a ring. I was like 25. Now this is like 3 years before I get into the business at this point. So it was fucking. It felt cool to get in the ring and then get it. I got a picture taken with the Superfly, so that was kind of trippy. It was fun, but he didn't murder me, so I was happy.
That's good. It's like now that I look back, he just kept saying something about choking a bitch, bashing her head in. I don't know what that was all about.
It's like, damn it, man. Oh shit. So I don't know. Like it was funny when I met, because I met Shelton Benjamin and Bull Buchanan. I met them in a Hooters in Grand Rapids. Cool. We were in there eating after the show, and they were just sitting at a fucking table. It was funny. But yeah, because we'd went to watch SmackDown that night, and them two were actually working a program, so they were probably traveling together, sharing the fucking rental car. I felt bad because my buddy was like, he fucking walked, because I was like, oh shit, there they are. I was like, I'm gonna wait till they're done eating, and I'll slide over there and just ask them to sign, piece of paper for me. He goes running over there. Next thing you know, there's a line of motherfuckers. And they had just got their food. I'm like, their fucking food's going to be cold. So after everybody was done, I walked over there and just sat down at their table. And I was like, I'm so sorry. My friend's a douchebag. They just laughed. They're like, it's all good, man. I'm like, do you mind? They're like, no. And they sat there and like, just bullshitted for like a quick second. And I'm like, I sent him over another fucking round of beers because they were fucking sitting there drinking some Tall Boys. So I sent him over a couple fucking beers. And, I was like, there you go. They were cool. They were good guys. I felt bad. Again, this was probably like, well, this might have been this SmackDown, in 03. It might have been that one.
Nice.
Oh, wow. That was pretty cool.
Because I went to probably like, I don't know. I've been to SmackDown. It's a couple times in Grand Rapids, and then the Raws I went to have all been in Detroit. I don't think I ever went to a Raw over in GR. I don't know if they've ever done a Raw there. Come to think of it, I don't know, because honestly, when they come to Michigan, it's either Detroit or Grand Rapids now. They still go to Saginaw because Saginaw it's the Dow Event Center, but I think they only do like the smaller shows there. They might do SmackDowns because I've been there a couple times back in like 05. I went to one or two shows they did there. I think both of them because they came twice. They came through twice that year. And one of them was Benoit. I got to see Benoit wrestle. It was like fucking Mark Henry, I think. And what's his name? Ray was wrestling. Well, fuck, was Guerrero still around then? I'm trying to think because it was like
year?
It was like June 05. Was he gone at that point?
I think it was a couple months after that. Let me check.
Okay, you're looking it up. All right, because I was going to pull it up. But
I get to see Benoit too.
November. November 2005.
Yeah, so yeah, he was on that card because I you know what? Because I remember I bought my fucking stupid ass whore ex an Eddie Guerrero shirt, because she wanted one of those. I got a Batista like hat and beanie or something.
Because Benoit at the end of it came out and drank a beer with Stone Cold and shit.
Nice.
And Lillian.
I believe. No, I saw Benoit in WCW, but I also saw him at No Way Out 2001, and I'm sure a few Raws as well.
I saw him at WrestleMania 23 in the match against MVP. That and I think 1 or 2 WCW shows I went to in. Did I ever go to one in Detroit? I never went to the pay-per-views in Detroit. I went to fuck. It was in October of like 98. Showdown in Saginaw. I've been to a couple of Saturday nights down there, and I think one. I swear to God, I've been to a fucking Nitro, but I can't remember if it was Detroit or Saginaw at this point. But, yeah, the fucking they WCW would always go to Saginaw. You know, WWE, they went there. WWE was there a lot in the '80s. But the Detroit was always like Kobo or Joe Louis. You know, they'd go there. Oh man. That fucking era of wrestling, that 80s to, like I said, 2001, and then it's kaput. It does. It just falls apart at the seams, you know?
I was going to ask, because Draven brought it up a couple times, I was going to ask you guys, like, how would you book the invasion, or what would you do different than what we did get? Because it was very...
I would have waited, for sure.
Yeah.
You would have...
Oh, go ahead, Draven.
I would have waited basically until all your contracts were up for the WCW guys, and then done an invasion and start and do it slow, sort of like how the NWO build up kind of was. And then just obviously, you know, we would have had better matches because we'd have had the bigger guys there to kind of help carry some of that.
Yeah, because I mean, they're putting like Stephanie McMahon in charge of ECW instead of Paul Heyman. You know, they're Shane McMahon in charge of WCW, and Steve Austin is the face of WCW. Like, it didn't feel like an invasion.
No. I'd first of all, I would have paid out the contracts. As say, if I'm doing this, Is I'm in complete control. I'm Vince McMahon. I'm gonna pull the strings here. I'm buying out the fucking contracts, like, because listen here, I want these contracts. I want Scott Steiner now.
Well, he bought out like the cheaper ones.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't want to work. They wanted to sit that year out.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what you do is you start, you shelf it. You shelve it at first, buy out the contracts you can get, because they had a great young nucleus of talent. I mean, you've got a ton of amazing stars that you could have really built up. So you can afford to let, I mean, I'm sure, like, was Paige one of the ones that Paige came over? You just didn't have like Goldberg, Steiner, Hogan, the Outsiders.
His contract.
Sting.
He wasn't there for really the invasion, though. His contract just expired sooner than the rest.
Which,
so
Goldberg?
He was there. Paige,
okay.
He wasn't there during the invasion.
Yeah.
Though. Like, it just expired before mostly everyone else's.
So you've got control of ECW at this time too. So you've got their roster, and then you've got the WCW guys. So what you do is you start rebranding. I would have rebranded an entire WCW program at this point. I mean, you've got all this extra. So because they had basically stopped doing Shotgun Saturday Night at that point. So
he was going to until the Booker and Buff Bagwell match, because it wasn't just about the fans reacted badly to it.
Yeah, well, because you let off with Buff Bagwell and Booker T. Booker T, not bad, but Buff Bagwell on the other side of that, you know, if you had Chris Benoit and fucking Booker T out there, or Diamond Dallas Page and Booker T, or Scott Steiner, or even fucking Jeff Jarrett and Booker T. Jarrett and Booker T had some decent matches.
Yeah.
That's one thing, when push came to shove, he could actually work. So, and working with Booker can make anybody look good. That's the thing, the brilliance of Booker T.
Five time. Sorry.
What's up? What about?
What up, man?
Yeah. What about? Oh, he says Booker T and Buff in Seattle was a bad decision. It should have been done in Atlanta. The crowd in Atlanta would have popped for that because they knew those guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they knew the Harlem Heat. They knew Buff Bagwell. You can't, and that was when like you take the nitros that in the early part they used to run. You know, someone would run in the Northeast, and you never got the pop like you did when WCW first started really coming up north. It was a different style. It was the Southern styles, and that's how it started. It was a Southern style wrestling. It was never in Seattle. Wait.
Yeah, they didn't go up to the Pacific Northwest very much.
But he's the match I'm referring to was the Raw. Was the Raw that they were on?
Horseman country, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
North
maybe
Carolina down south.
Maybe Vince sabotaged it, but either like I was just mentioning that he did want to like they had a new WCW graphic for it and everything, but it just fell through.
That's what I would have done. I would have rebranded it, and I would have incorporated, ECW as a faction. As you could do a faction thing with ECW, but at that point, you don't want to spread yourself too thin. And if you turn your Saturday night, just call it WCW Saturday Night, and fuck, man.
Yeah.
There's so many things they could have done. I hate whenever they fucking drop the ball and go in the wrong direction.
And you've got, at this point, you have a nucleus of talent. Say if you still had a 2-hour time slot on Saturday night, and then maybe you do like another 1 hour pre-tape program, like Hour of Dark matches, and you could put that on like so there used to be WCW Pro on Saturday morning. All right, so we can still do WCW Pro because we can produce it at the same time. Or concurrently with, Saturday night, and, you could do 4 hours, do 2 hours pre-tape for a Saturday and Sunday. And then, you go from then you have 4 hours of programming for WCW and 4 hours for your main shows. And you could even do like they used to do a Saturday night and do it at Center Stage Theater in Atlanta. It's all at the same place,
Mm-hmm.
It's all in house. So, and you just dress the set a bit differently for like Pro and Worldwide, and then you have your main Saturday night, whatever you want to call it, gimmicks. So, I mean that's to me that's just. I don't know, but that's me thinking about it without, having to actually like put my own money into it. Yeah. But it seems like you could have really built up the roster you had at that point, and then we've built it up. Then it's like, you know what? It's an invasion. Then you kind of slowly start working the invasion angle out of it. But shelf it for a couple months, do some tapings and test the response to it and go from there. And I think it would have worked.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Vinny?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. There's so many different things you could have done, but I'd say on both ends, Vince didn't know what the fuck he was doing for a while there. He didn't have much of a roster. He had 1 or 2 great workers, and then all right. So I heard an interview. I was gonna send this to Tony. I forgot to. It was earlier in the week. It was on YouTube with Sid Vicious, because I looked up something on Steiner, and then there was another link underneath. I'm like, what the fuck was this? So there was him shooting and talking about some stuff. So I saw the full interview. It's really interesting to see what had happened, and from the horse's mouth too, regarding the shit that was going on over there. Sid wasn't even on like. He didn't have a contract with McMahon for a while.
Jesus.
He was getting paid $1,000. He had to go work. He was doing farming stuff and like playing with chemicals and fertilizer shit. Maybe that's why his brain was the way it was. But he had to do that, and for a while too. Like there was a year he didn't work for the company, and then they called him up and goes, "Oh yeah, I want you in here. I need you." He's like, "What? What do you need me for, Vince?" He goes, "Why don't you look at your roster?" He goes, "I need star power." He's like, "You don't have star power?" "No, I need you." So he had him come in, and he goes, apparently he didn't know because they kept giving him $1,000 for that full year. Because he said that it says one of the guarantees I need at least. Because he goes, to go town to town like that, I'm not paying out of my own pocket, and this will cover the expenses for me. So that's what he was doing. And they kept giving him that extra money while he was doing his other job. So as he came in, he started getting huge pops again from the fans. And it's like, okay, so apparently Sid was bringing in good crowds because his size, the way he was. I mean, I remember when he came in, I did like him. It's just later would happen with most of the shit that was going on. But
yeah.
I was going to say that whole situation with Arn Anderson stemmed from this. So when he finally got his contract deal, he was like, listen, Vince, I have another job. I can't keep doing this and for this kind of money. He's like, what are you talking about? You got to wrestle. So he finally got something settled with him, and he was going to be getting this better money where he left the other job. So word got back to the other guys. They were about to go overseas to Japan or something, and they were all hanging out, drinking, getting drunk, and they were talking about the business. And he says, this is the thing that did happen. What's his name? Flair.
Oh, Flair.
Flair literally screwed things up for everybody. So every time someone was getting this chance to get the belt on them, he would leapfrog them and go to the higher ups and say no. So the American Dream was going to give Sid the belt. They said how it was all going to break down, all that shit that happened. And he knew it was going to happen at the time too. So Ric Flair says, no, he's too young. He can't do it. He's going to screw it up. He can't, blah, blah, blah. And he didn't know this. They were in the ring. He thought he had the belt, and that's when they told him, no, you got to go through another move. And what he turned around, and Sting's there. They took the belt from him. They did a move, and they passed the belt over. Like, he didn't get it. So he goes, like, I don't understand what this shit was that they did, what they were doing. They didn't know what they were doing on either side. So when they were talking, they go, yeah, what's the problem with this business? And he just spit it out. He goes, it's Flair. It's Flair, and these other guys like Hogan, they keep stepping on people and not giving the younger guy the chances. That's when Arn Anderson, drunk, grabbed the bottle, smashed it over his head.
Jesus.
So, yeah. So, again, because Arn had to protect his buddy and what he deems as, the business. So Sid was furious. They separated them. They brought Arn up to his room, and Sid was still fuming because he was drunk but not as drunk. So he goes, I was pissed. He goes, I broke the chair, and I took one of the legs of the chair, and I went down to his room. I started pounding on the door, and then I heard what sounded like Arn falling down. He's like, oh, he's too drunk, this piece of shit. I'm not even going to waste my time. So he goes, I turn around. I start walking to the elevator. I take the leg, and I throw it down the hallway. He goes, I hear his door open up. So he goes, I turn around, and here comes Arn running at him, top speed, jumps on top of him, and apparently he goes, he had stabbed me, but I didn't realize it. And
with a pair of scissors.
Yeah, 3 times in the face, and then once in the gut. And he didn't know. So he when he did see it, because he punched him in the face to get Arn off, and he wasn't knocked out, but he was off of me. He goes, I saw the scissors, I grabbed it, and I started stabbing him like crazy, punching him, stabbing him. And then he goes, one of the other wrestlers opened the door and goes, you killed him. He goes, I stopped. He goes, I looked at my hands, there was blood everywhere. He goes, I take the scissors and I chuck them down like where the leg was of the chair that he broke. And then he goes, I didn't know I was bleeding. He goes, until I stood up, I turned around and blood shot all over the wall.
Jesus.
So he went down to the lobby, and that's when Vader was there. And Vader goes, call 911. And they go, what? And he goes, you're bleeding. And that's when Vader took his finger and he put it in the hole that was gushing blood out of his stomach.
Jesus. It's time. It's bleeding time.
Bleeding time. And then it was funny too, because then he goes, the cops asked me when I got to the hospital if I want to press charges. And they told me nothing happened to him. And I went, what? What do you mean nothing happened to him? He goes, there's not a scratch on the other guy. Now, I don't know who the cops talked to or what happened. He goes, nah. He goes, I'm not going to press charges then. So they were bandaging him up. He goes, they didn't hit any vital organs, so he stayed the night anyway. In the morning, the nurse came to check in on him. Goes, how you doing, hon? He goes, I'm fine. He goes, I just, these little, they're nothing. She goes, the other guy's horrible. He said, what are you talking about? He goes, I walked down to his room, and he goes, Arn was completely fucked up. His head was like practically bashed in. He had bandages all over him. Sid really fucked him up, but the cops said, oh, there was not a scratch on him because they wanted Sid to press charges first. Since Arn is he's the one that attacked. He didn't know it. He didn't realize it. And then Arn wanted to sue him like 2 weeks later.
Jesus.
He goes, I'll put a retainer down. He goes, I'll put a retainer down for $20,000. And he goes, he didn't get shit from me. He wasn't going to get shit. He wanted my payday is what he wanted. You fuck that guy.
That's it. I'm gonna go play No Mercy, and I'll have Sid beat up Arn Anderson tonight.
Could you get scissors in there?
I can. I'll have to. I don't know. I can get a baseball bat with barbed wire on it. That'll have to work. Or they have the flowers. Sid can beat him with Eddie Guerrero's flowers he gave to China. Mamacita.
But I'm just saying, like, this is like how fucked up it's been and how it's always been with this shit, Because again, they let the older assholes ruin a lot of it for everyone, and then it's like, okay, well, now we got all this talent. We're going to merge the companies. What do we do? What do we do? Let's get Vince Russo. No,
yeah,
it's not getting Vince Russo.
No, bro, swerve. And Hulk Hogan, that sorry piece of shit, will never work here again.
And then he became huge again at WWE.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Fucking Russo.
It just shows it's like dumb luck that all this kind of stuff, both companies hit gold for a while.
Yeah.
With the Attitude Era and all that. Yeah.
Yep. Lightning.
It was inevitable that they were going to fuck it up. Like, it was in the stars.
What I would have done for the invasion, if you guys don't mind real quick, I would have used Booker T and Buff #1 and said, see, I tried, and then you start bringing the guys in, those smaller guys, the Brian Kendricks, the Cades or whoever, all the undercarters for WCW, and let it be known we recently acquired this person from WCW, whatever, and you wait that time. You wait for DDP's contract to expire and Hogan's, and basically what they're doing is getting their roots in, and almost like Hydra and Shield, really getting their roots in on the roster and stuff. And then when you have enough main eventers, you got Flair and Hogan and everybody, then you pull the trigger and make it, kind of a guessing game. Like, maybe this guy did come over from the roster to wrestle. Maybe he's, working on their side, and just #1, I think you could get a really cool faction out of that. But
sort of like how they did the ECW thing. They just kind of took all the ECW dudes that were on the main roster and then kind of put them with WCW to fill out.
Yeah,
but instead of doing that, you would do it with WCW because you already have those guys filling in.
Yeah, and you could even have, once it really starts getting going between WCW and WWF, and you don't know who you can trust at first, and then the lines are made clear. You could #1, I wouldn't have had anybody but Paul Heyman as the head of ECW. He kind of was the face of that company, and Stephanie McMahon, that's fucking stupid, but they could have just been kind of that wild card, like, they're off to the side over here. Maybe they're going to attack WWF tonight for some reason, maybe WCW, but I don't know. It would have bided the time. It would have made sure you had all the main eventers, and it really felt that way because, it's called the invasion, but it wasn't. It was just a weird storyline.
It was controlled opposition.
There were times you had Jericho, Benoit, Big Show, and maybe Kurt Angle on Team WWF, and it's like most of those guys just got to the WWF from WCW, a year or two ago. Then you've got Steve Austin, who's like the biggest face since Hulk Hogan for the WWF, and you're going to try to make him the face of WCW. It's nonsensical.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
yeah,
they had
didn't he heel turn though at the end?
Yeah,
Stone Cold.
He did a flip. He did a turn at the end and went back. Well, he went against the Alliance at the end.
Yeah.
He was still in the Alliance, but when they had the big match, I think at Survivor Series, winner wins everything. He was still the face of WCW, but fans were still cheering him at that point. They never wanted to boo him.
Yeah.
And then the next night on Raw, they just like dropped it, and yeah.
He just went back to being Stone Cold.
Yeah. He wasn't a heel, no mention of WCW or anything.
Yep. Yeah, they had so many tools in the toolbox, but they used the wrong ones all the time. You know, they just that whole thing was botched. It really was.
They just rushed it. That's the problem.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you could have sat on it for a year. You know, you can have some of these guys, like Tony said, you could just start putting these guys in and letting them work, and then it's kind of like Hydra. That absolutely worked.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, they won't sit on it. They should have sat on it like Stephanie on Macho Man. Hi-yo!
Goddamn.
especially with what they paid for it, and yeah, damn it, Vinny.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Jeff Hardy and Pat Patterson.
Oh,
goddamn!
I finished that the Legends House. That was hilarious. It's me. I've been doing it for 50 years. Yay! Yeah, everybody knew. Especially the ones you cornered in the showers. You fuck.
It wasn't a secret, Pat.
Wow.
It wasn't a secret. I miss Mean Gene. I miss Mean Gene though.
Dude. Yeah. Okay, so he had that renal issues. He had, he was born with that, and he's drinking like a fish. If he didn't, he would have lasted longer.
Right.
What the fuck? He has a full-blown alcoholic on that show. My wife gave me a kidney. Yeah, and you ruined it.
Damn it,
Come on, me, Gene.
Oh, I was down in South Beach the other night, down there at the club, and I saw Ric Flair banging 4 hookers. I mean, had a little too much to drink. Tony Schiavone, back to you.
One of the hookers donated her kidney.
Oh my god! Yeah, like elephantitis in one hand. That was bizarre.
I'm gonna kill her in a bathtub. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Eric Bischoff.
No shit.
He's sitting with his bathrobe open, getting a pedicure. He's like, "Yeah, baby, do you like what Oakland's got for you?"
Tutti fruity. I like when the end of WC where he swore at like one of the Natural Born Thrillers, and then the thing the thing fell down when who the fuck was he interviewing, Tony? Didn't we just watch that episode where he's like, "Fuck it"? I told you the fucking thing wouldn't work.
I know. I just remember Bobby Heenan dropping an F-bomb when fucking Brian Pillman came up and like grabbed him by the shoulders and scared him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because of the neck injury.
Yeah.
Yep.
What the fuck? From my neck.
Okerlund swore though. He said fuck it because a piece of the set fell, and then he made a comment to like it was like the Natural Born Thrillers about he's having guys like you kneecapped or some shit, and he says, I'm gonna look it up right now. Hang on. We'll watch it. We'll watch the clip.
Yeah,
we'll fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why he was a legend.
Here it is right here. Let's see. Hang on. Oh, okay. Hang on. This is the SummerSlam one. I'll take a copyright claim for this. I'll just unlist the stream. I don't fucking care. It's Saturday night. I'm drunk and stoned, boys. We don't give a fuck. Here we
Oh my
God
God.
damn it, Mean Gene.
That's funny.
God damn it.
He was awesome.
There's another one. Hang on. Because there's another one from there's one from WCW. Let me find it.
It's like inches away from his kidneys. Could have been bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a good thing it wasn't Brian Pillman, right?
He grabs him by the kidneys and shakes him like, what the fuck are you doing?
I'd almost pay to see that.
Oh, here it is right here. What the fuck? I love the Natural Born Thrillers. They were fucking great. Like, I fucking love that jobber ass stable because they had some talented motherfuckers in them, and they just, I don't know. Mike Sanders, Reno was even a little more talented than him. But here we go, right here. All right, let me get the audio up.
Impression there, you prick. What about the rest of you piss ants? Anybody else want to do impressions?
Hey, man, why don't you shut up? What do you call him?
Hey, blow it out your ass, O'Hare. I got guys that can take out your kneecaps.
That's great.
That was fantastic.
You prick. He calls them piss ants.
And this is kind of the same as the Invasion. It's like they have all the right tools, but they just execute it. Shit like that's gold, you know. But they executed so much wrong. Like, if they would have just fine-tuned everything, I mean, they had some real good talent in this time, and it was exciting. It was something different for WCW, but some of the shit on there, like when they were trying to dump blood on Kevin Nash, twice, not once, twice. He's like beating the hell out of whoever at some point, and then the blood comes spilling down, but it's like 3 feet behind Nash, and like not a drop gets on him. And then like 2 weeks later, the same thing happens. They try to drop, and it happens again. Like,
yeah.
Oh
fuck! I love that clip. I'm gonna chop that up. That Mean Gene one's. Yeah, prick. Any other little piss ants want to say anything?
Since you're getting a copyright anyway, can we watch the blood drop?
You got the clip pulled up?
Yeah.
All right,
and hold on.
Just screen share.
Sure my audio's
That's
on.
like with Edge, when him and Beth Phoenix were rival going against Miz in that, and they did the brood bath. They used the black stuff instead of because of the freaking ratings or whatever. So stupid.
Stupid. My bad, guys. I didn't know it was a 3-minute.
Fucking Vince Russo. Fuck you, Vinny. Fuck you, Vinny Roo. Fuck you, Vinny Roo. Hey, yo, bro, I'm Vinny Roo here in the house. What's up? Bro.
I got a little jacket, bro.
God, he was such...
Mike.
He does not belong in the ring. He does not belong anywhere near the business.
It's Mike Zero.
What does that mean?
Yeah, like I guess it didn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
Bad execution.
I remember the New Blood versus Old Blood. That was
New Blood, the Millionaires Club, baby.
Yeah.
Yep. That see, that's another angle they could have done a little bit better, but Vince Russo was there and he fucked that up.
Yeah,
so
they had all the pieces.
Yep. That was like WCW's like Achilles' heel was bad booking and nepotism backstage, but that's professional wrestling. I mean, you know, nepotism and bad booking run rampant everywhere. But gang, that's about where I'm going to leave off for the night. We've been going for about 2:45, so yeah. Thank you all. Let me acknowledge the chat. We did have a $4.99 super chat from Rudd Gaze because he wanted to just fix a Chuck Norris. Frankie says, I'm watching YouTube through YouTube. There shouldn't be any copyright strikes at all. Frankie knows superfan Adam Shawhan. What about science fiction audiobooks booked up with Brightest Day? Well, brother. Who else we have up in here? Was let's see. I think 24 Eyes was here earlier. Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan. Red Gaze, Tim's Talk. Judas Goat Barbecue, channel member. Good Stuff Comic Skater. Brahma Bull, another channel member. Lovely Sherry. Runner Blaze, Godzillionaire. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Carrie's was here. Let's see. And yeah, that's all the way back to the beginning. Thank you, everybody. Let me go around. I'll kick it over to Tony, my co-host, first.
Yeah, this Tuesday, we cap off the first year of the Monday Night War. We'll be on weeks 51 and 52. Really looking forward to the next year. The second year is where things just really get interesting. You know, this year we sat through a lot of red and yellow. A lot of weird shit on Raw. Just like, no matter, even if stuff is bad now, it's like back then, it's like Vince just either was clueless or just didn't care anymore. Like, I know he had just had to go through the steroid battle and all that, but I mean, damn, it was bad. I was so happy to be out in 1995 WWF, but we're coming close to 1997. It's a crazy year. A lot of good stuff. Crow Sting, Bret Hart versus Steve Austin, the Hart Foundation, the 97 Survivor Series. All kinds of really cool stuff is coming. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't believe, you know, we've been doing it about 6 months in real time, but you know, Showtime, we were already through that first year. It's kind of crazy. So, glad to talk wrestling with everyone on the panel. It's always a good time, and it was a great time tonight. So thank you all in the chat, everyone on the panel, and yeah, I hope everyone has a cool Sunday. And I'll be on Vinnie's chill stream tomorrow night too. Sunday.
That's right, man.
So
we'll have fun.
Hell yeah.
Excellent, man. Thank you, Tony. Thank you as always, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Let me kick it over to the vampire that don't sparkle, but he sure do shine. Twinkle, twinkle, baby. It's Angelus Draven.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I do gaming over on my channel, over on Twitch. I've been playing Elden Ring. And then, obviously, I'm over on Tony's channel doing the Monday Night Wars thing with him every Tuesday that I can make it. But yeah, always a pleasure being here. If you haven't seen Sonic, definitely go see that. You know, it's one of those bright spots right now as far as entertainment goes. So definitely want to support that. So, yeah.
All right, man. Thank you for being here, Draven. Appreciate it, brother.
Yep. Always a pleasure.
And always good to have you, man. And last but certainly not least, he's one of our four horsemen from Monday night, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vinnieart, Vinnie Tartamella.
Thank you, fellas. Yeah, it's always a pleasure being here. Yeah, sorry I didn't come here sooner, but it's always awesome talking wrestling and just hanging out. You know, true people, genuine people here, good friends. And yeah, we're gonna continue having a great time tomorrow night, 9 p.m. over on my channel. We got the chill stream. So yeah, fellas, ladies, stop by. We're gonna have a great time. And yeah, just another update for you guys. I am in the lettering process of Shadow of the Kraken. And yeah, this stuff is looking great. Doing some rewrites a little bit too as I'm tweaking the pages and then I'm doing the lettering, like, you know. So I'm doing a little bit of back and forth. But hey, we're gonna make sure to give you guys the best of the best when it comes to these products. So yeah, I think maybe we got another week worth of work on here. And yeah, and then it should be done. So we're doing what we can. We're kicking ass. Me. And I think it. Yeah, Red. He read some of the book and he's loving it. He said some really great things over on Walton's stream as well. Yeah, Liam. He also read some of this stuff too, and he's been digging it. So yeah, we got good people, and yeah. So the help is there too. The support's there, and much love to everybody here. ETEP, you rock, brother. Yeah, I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And yeah, thank you to everybody for being here in the chat. Yeah, be sure to check us out on Monday night.
Nice.
Hell yeah, that's every Monday night at 8:35 Eastern. Me, Tony, Vinnie, Red, and Chris the Fist are here to entertain you. Go box office breakdown. WTF is this? Marvel
alopecia.
Monday. Luscious alopecia, our Monday night stripper. She's our mascot. We need her drawn. Luscious alopecia. Why do I have a feeling she'd look like Lizzo?
No, that's Chris's stripper name.
Chris is
Luscious Alopecia Jones.
Luscious Alopecia Jones. Gotta hyphenate that shit. Let me thank the channel members here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so my next show is Monday night, 8:35 right here. As I just said, me, Tony, Vinnie, Red, and Luscious Alopecia Jones will be here for Going in Raw episode 198. We are on the precipice of 200. We're almost there. So we'll have that Monday night, and the next video I release will probably be Tuesday afternoon because it'll be Nitro episode 2. I'll be getting that shot and everything between. I'll be shot Monday and then edited together Tuesday and released Tuesday afternoon to the members, and then publicly on Thursday. We'll have the members pre-show Monday night and Wednesday night before both live streams. Wednesday Night Live and Going in Raw, and and then the end of the week I'll probably put out some more pop culture videos after I get the big one, the Raw one done, because that's the big reviews. I'll be over on Tony's channel Tuesday night for the Monday Night Wars, Supreme Heretics Tuesday at 6:40 p.m. and I'm taking Thursday night off this week. I had fun Thursday night streaming with everybody, but it was a late night. It was fun though. Red stream was especially fun because I haven't been on the probe in a while, so I might jump on that Thursday again. Kind of just shock them and show up, but not the shot. Never mind. But yeah, so that's it, gang. Thank you all in the chat, my channel members, everybody. I know what you say when you see me every time. I know.
Not Big Daddy, it's regular Daddy.
I know, I'm here. Regular Daddy's here. It's okay. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. I'm Tepo Kuyin for the Place to Be Reviews. We've been here with all of yous. If we don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. We'll catch you on the next one.
I could do this all day. It's better to burn out than to fade away. Boom!